Welcome to the Distortion Survivor Timeline of Terror, Second Chances, Cast Assessment. If you've been watching cast assessments for Distortion, which I don't know why you would, but if you just like casually watch them, you would know Prod does not like to do the cast assessments because my logic is that we casted them, we already know what they're kind of capable of, so we let the other people do it. But it's second chances. And so we were feeling a little spicy. So, on top of production, which today is me speaking, Seb, we have Grace here.
Hello.
We have Benji, our newest prod member. On top
Hello.
of that, we have our Timeline of Terror actor show. We have Karen coming back. And we have Morgan, I guess.
Yeah, whatever.
But thank you guys for being here. We're gonna go alphabetically, and we're just gonna go down the line, and we're gonna speak.
I'm so
That
excited.
came out wrong, but
Speak, Valentina.
we're gonna.
Ally.
Okay. Does anyone have any questions before we continue?
Will this be on the test?
Yes. Pop quiz on all 21 players that are playing Distortion this
It's
season.
worth 20% of your grade.
I'm ready. I'm ready. This
I'm
is probably
so
the dumbest
excited.
quiz I could pass.
Can I just say, like, Timeline of Terror, not the theme itself, but Second Chances has been like anticipated on my brain since like season 3. So excited we finally get to do a full returning season. Woo!
Also,
Okay.
I said this in the VO, but this is the way that me and Seb's first season as an engaged couple is all returning season.
I guess.
It's giving iconic.
Okay. So before we continue, I'm gonna give Morgan and Karen a little breakdown on the twist. Because obviously it might influence how things work. So in season 3 of Distortion, we had Sleepaway Camp, where you kind of had some sort of like a cross tribe communication with everyone. And so this season, they're initially starting with 3 tribes of 7. And from there, um, one person from each tribe will go to like not really sleepaway camp. We haven't really thought of a name of it yet, but they will go to this place and there will be 3 options. If you choose to put your name on the wheel for that round, there's a good option, a bad option, and a neutral option. And basically, if you get the neutral option, obviously you don't get anything. If you get the good option, you get the good thing. You get the bad option, it's a disadvantage. And Morgan knows a lot about disadvantages.
Yeah. We can just relive that history.
They can try to bring you down, bestie.
Oh, I try.
And they
Word
can.
try. Keyword
Never work.
try.
I try.
And they
never
can
work.
succeed. They can succeed.
I mean, not
Okay.
all the time.
And the groundbreaking twist for this season, which shout out to Billy because he didn't come up with it, but
Oh.
this season,
Why are we shouting him out then?
because he's the one who gave us the idea.
Okay.
So this
Okay.
season will be a Final Four.
You know what?
Where was
That's
that for
fine
season
because
5?
I already got my dream team and it is at least 4. So that's
Where was-
great.
Okay, now I have a new question. Where was that for season 5? Because I would have 8.
Actually, yeah. Wait, you've been thinking about this
I would have 8
since
this whole last story.
after season 2, right?
I've actually been thinking about it since season 5, but
That's fair. That's fair.
We talked about putting it in
Anyways.
last season, but it just wasn't going to work.
we thought that with the returning aspect, it'd be cool.
How big jury is it? Everyone votes for 1 out of 4, or are those 4?
How big jury?
How big jury?
How big jury?
And also,
So the jury, so we're gonna merge. So they're gonna merge, and jury starts at 13. There'll be 9 jurors, and they will vote for 1 of 4.
Oh.
There could be 3-0 vote finalists if someone
Yes,
really
there can.
Oy.
I'm not laughing, but that's kind of funny.
Yeah.
Anyways, let's get to the people part of this. The people who will be
Okay.
competing in this crazy jack shit season. So
Wait, should we tell them tribe divisions?
yeah, but like
Let me take some notes. Let me take this serious.
let me know when you're ready.
I got my notebook out.
I sadly to a vote. Oh, sorry, wrong show.
Okay. She's ready.
Okay, so I'm still trying to pronounce these tribe names. So the Lesopus tribe consists of Adam D, Adam V, Alex, Brian Weber, Jonathan, Timmy, and Tyler.
Let me give me a second.
I'm
Give me a
sorry.
second. Oh my god, that was so many names. Okay. Me just calling them the lessers.
You're goodbye.
Right.
Next up is the Schrodinger tribe. We have Austin, Anthony, Kevin, Lee, Roberto, Vanessa, and Vicky.
Okay.
Okay.
This tribe is giving. Oh, I want drama.
Right. You're gonna
Oh, if you think that tribe is bringing drama,
Oh.
this next tribe, the Democritus tribe,
Oh.
Cam, Brian De Leon, Jackie, Joppy, Lauren, Mike Jones, Nick Mana.
What was the giggle? What was the gag?
Okay.
Okay,
I
so
feel- Oh, go ahead.
those are the cast those are the tribe divisions, so we can run down it, talk about it as we go through each person. So right off the bat, we have Adam D. He was in Camp Sunny Skies, was last pre-juror, well, one of two last pre-jurors. Adam left after a game agreed where no one picked it up, so both tribes went to tribal that round. And Adam, the round prior, played an idol on himself when he didn't have to, and it didn't work out, and they voted him out. So I'm excited to have Adam back.
I love
Adam
Adam.
in the time between season 3 and season 7, Adam won Power Grab All Stars. And I'm just really hoping that Adam slays this season. But what do y'all have to say about Adam?
I played Power Grab All Stars with Adam. I'm obsessed with Adam, and he is so good at just really making you feel like he is with you. And I think he's good at that with everyone. Like, I think he's really honed that in, just being able, and he's really good at skewing information when he needs to and giving just enough that people feel really good with him and give him everything. So I'm really excited to see if he's gonna like tap into that well here this game.
I love Adam. Adam is like my biggest supporter. Any game I'm in, I always see an Adam comment being like, "Oh my God, love them." Like, thank you so much. Like, you ate that. Really excited to see Adam play a game. I haven't obviously been on that side of it. I've only been hosted by. So this will be really interesting for me. I'm having high hopes for
Are we
Adam.
also doing share screen of pictures as well?
No, that's too much work.
I'm a visual learner.
Right.
Visual learner.
I mean, same actually.
And
Some of these people I do not know. So
Give me a sec.
Adam is someone who I literally kept telling Prod, especially Seb, ever since the season had been, there we go, ever since this season had been talked about, I literally said if I have any fucking say on who is on this cast, I want Adam. I want Adam. I want Adam. Like I'm not taking anything else. If he's not there, I'm not taking anything else. So I'm very, very excited to see him again. And I just feel compared to when he came back and because when he played season 3, it was his first work back in a pop minute. So he was a little rusty or very much rusty. But I feel playing Power Grab and playing like in CCC, he's definitely cleaned up his game a lot just based on and witnessing it like twice in person now. He's definitely cleaned his game up. And I am very excited for him to bring that into this game. And I agree with what Karen said. He is very good at making people feel comfortable enough, and he knows how to get to that information as best he needs. But I do feel when it comes to like this cast, I see him doing very well. As long as he doesn't do anything stupid and overplays like he did in season
I
3,
I
he will be
think
fine.
he's played enough games. Like when you first come back in, like the paranoia is always there. But like if you haven't played in a while, you're like, "Ah, ah, ah," and it's like, well, I might as well. Like fuck it, I have it. Might as well use it now. Maybe I do need it. And then it's like, oh shit, I knew I probably shouldn't have done that. And he
Mhm.
hasn't done anything like that since. So I have faith. We'll see. Also, he's just so hot. I mean, look at that. He's just so hot.
Period.
Adam definitely took the advice of recreate old photo.
Oh yeah, he was like, why do I do this? What do I do for this? He made sure.
Okay. Is anyone else have anything to say about Adam?
Oh, if there's anything I'm interested in for, I mean, from what I've gotten to see of Adam already, I can see he has quite the personality. I love seeing how social dynamics will work in the house. He by far seems like one of those very dynamic people. Like right out the gate, it's very hard to miss Adam. I relate to the overthinking that he says that he's going to try not to do and let the like I say paranoia from BB Can season 5. So paranoia. I think as long as he keeps a level head, he should be just fine. But I also can't wait for him to see what we have souped up and see what happens.
Okay. Now
Not
you're
me saying that these contestants are gonna go through hell. Uh,
oh, they will. Okay. So if we're all done with Adam, next up is Adam. So Adam played last season. Dramina was the underdog. Very much like the if I had to like related to someone's like very much like the Jake of 45. Like
Mhm.
kept trying to make moves, it wouldn't work out. But he was able to find a good group of allies and get himself to the final three. He was able to convince Rachel to take him to the final two, and he had a really good shot. He is the only finalist we have in this cast to have votes to their names at the end.
Bye,
So
Dragon.
stupid. Continue.
I'm not lying. If I remember correctly, Adam had 4 votes at the end. But he was just not able to really present the game he had, due to the fact that this is Adam's second Skype game and his first was last season. Um,
Mhm.
he was just really nervous. Plus, on top of that, Rachel's like a really good speaker. And just it didn't work out. But I'm excited to see Adam play again, especially so soon, like after like a runner-up game. Like it's so cool. I'm wondering what he'll actually do to like change up his game. Does he like do the same things? Like he was very like critical on himself towards the end of Andromeda. So I'm wondering if he like takes those steps to like up his game coming into this season, but I'm excited.
Having watched Adam from the VL last season, it was very, very interesting. I know we've all been in that place of like not necessarily first org realness, but still green Borg realness. To make it to the final two, especially only after this being like his one of the very first games that he's played, is highly commendable. I want to see what he's able to take from his experience in such a short amount of time and to capitalize on that. The season is all about second chances. I want to see if he learns from those second chances and how quick. That would also lead to, the moves that he may be able to make or being able to utilize the twist to his benefit, like whatever that looks like for him, and also how to diversify his game in such a short time as well.
I'm a little worried for my dearest Adam. I have to be real, and I will be. Um, I think Adam may be like sort of a fish out of water, doesn't have like any relationships heading in really. Um, uh, I don't know. I feel like if Adam really commits to it, then I think Adam could do really well. And I've seen both sides of that. I've seen Adam really committed to a game and Adam really not committed to a game. So I'm like, you better put in the work because these people like this cast is going to be working. Like they are going to be working overtime. So I think Adam won't come off as like the biggest threat right off the bat, but in a group full of people that could be
I
considered
mean,
threats, they might just be like, well, we'll get rid of
I
Adam.
mean, it's like so weird that I like agree with you because like on paper, Adam should be the biggest threat. Like he's the only person to make it to
Right.
the end, like have votes. He was a viable winner. Like Brian and Tyler are gonna kill me like
I
whenever
feel
they see
like
this, but
I feel like I'm just gonna keep saying like hone in, and I'm just like he made it to the finale, one of his first games, and like it was a really active cast. There were a lot of people trying to do a lot of things, and like there was a dark vote twist. Like that's not for nothing. He was obviously present, obviously had enough of a presence, and was likable. All I remember hearing about Adam from start to finish is what a big sweetheart he is. And like
Hmm.
I hear he doesn't have as many like tighter connections, like he's newer, so like probably he's gonna be like running uphill a little bit more. But at the same time, I'm like, okay, all of these other people are gonna be going in and being like, oh shit, these people are here that I'm familiar with. They're all coming
Right.
for the second chance. They might be trying to gobble him up, pull him in. Like he's the person that could just be floating. You need one person sometimes. And he's so damn
Yeah.
sweet.
I think it could be either or for sure.
yeah, Adam definitely has a lot like going for him. Like
Hmm.
on one hand, like Andromeda does have the least reps this season.
Mhm.
But at the same time, like,
Second least.
well, I mean, okay, whatever. Keep keep forgetting about Quarter Quell, but so
Everyone should.
but like it's
Please do.
Andromeda doesn't have the 4 or 5 like the other seasons really do. Like and but you brought this up as well as like Adam is an underdog. And it's like, as much as I want to say like they're gonna write him off right away, like Adam's never been known to just be like, oh well, they're done with me. Let me just give up. No, he
Right.
very plus on top of that, like votes aren't dark this season. Like he's gonna know, like, hey, like he could piece things together, be like, hey, why is the vote weird? Like it's not just like
Hmm.
last season where like people kind of had to like trust people and be like, yeah, this is how I voted. Yeah, whatever. But that's where I'm
Like,
at.
I understand he wasn't holding the reins or like calling the shots his season, but he still is the one who made it to the end. And like, you have to have that little bit of that edge, that little bit of a pull. And like, whether it's because the person thinks you're the easier beat or not, you still like did what you needed to do to get there. So, like, I don't know. It'll just be interesting because I'm also like, is he so sweet? He's gonna crumble as all these titans are like clashing around him. Like, is he gonna
I
be like,
have to
okay,
say,
guys?
Adam like is a sweetheart, yes, but Adam is a little spitfire too. I know Adam,
Listen,
and
Adam ain't no fool.
Adam's not gonna sit there and like just what Seb said. Not just gonna sit there and be like, oh, well, they're voting me out. That's fine. Adam's gonna be like, okay, well then who do I have to call out? Who's gonna take the fight
Right.
instead of me?
Like, who
So
will get it? Just
anyone but me will definitely come into play. So
Exactly. But
Yeah,
the-
no, I definitely, here's the thing, Adam, in my opinion, I feel he's definitely gonna have that energy there. And I kind of feel there is a benefit in a way with the tribe that he's on, with him being a newer orger, and all the Andromeda people they're all on their own tribe. So I kind of feel some people will probably try and take him in, but also part of me, I don't know how he's going to do socially at all, especially with the votes not being dark and everything. I don't know. And I did make a comment earlier, and I still kind of stand by it. And I'm gonna say this about him and the other two. I just with this cast, I feel very nervous for the Andromeda people.
What's the comparison? Like if it's them specifically versus the rest of the cast, so like all the other seasons, is it because they're the most recent or like
Not that. It's just like their playing styles and everything, and just how I've seen them.
I
I
just
just feel they're not going to be able to get away with the things they've done before.
the dark
don't
folk
I don't
will really
I
do a
don't
lot?
yes, on top of that, like no, this is nothing against Andromeda, but I feel like all the people who really needed second chances from this season, like, were not connected. They're not really connected to the org community, like, especially the Skype side. Like, so like Adam will touch on Joppy and Anthony later, like, but they truly are gonna have uphill battles because they haven't played like countless Skype orgs and such. So, but it'll be interesting to see. Does anyone else have anything about Adam?
I will say he is a loyal. That's a benefit to having him around. He is a loyal player.
Yeah. Okay, if that's everything about Adam, let me get the next person up. Since y'all are making me do photos.
and
Where are these people? Okay, next up in the alphabet is Alex.
There are a lot of A names
oh.
this season.
So yeah, so Alex
Ah.
Alex is the very few people on this cast, I believe, was fucked per se.
oh
So
please.
yeah, in the nicest way possible. So
Oh,
Benji
that's
and
nice.
Benji and Morgan know about this. We made a whole award about it. Made a whole award about it at the end of the season. Like, so when Heat Wave Cast came out, we were very excited. A lot of new players, a lot of players who didn't know each other. But because of that, we had the obsessed effect, where there were certain people who were just like deadlock obsessed with like Alex, Minor,
Minor.
like
Speak
Jen,
on it.
Brandon. I will speak on it because it was really annoying.
Yes, it was.
Yes, it
But
was.
so we get into and so Alex does amazing. He's in a really good spot on the Brains tribe. And then the swap happens, and Roberto, who we'll touch on later, which I'm kind of excited to see their storyline coming into the season. Roberto
Oh, I
is
can't wait for them to slice their necks.
Roberto sees that Alex hosted Minor, who had just won Hypnotic. And I remember this call
Don't even get me
vividly.
started.
I remember this call vividly. Roberto and Alex are on a call, and Roberto is trying to get Alex to admit that he hosts Hypnotic. And Roberto goes, Alex, you have the face of a host. Have you ever thought about like hosting an org? And Alex was like, well, yeah, I host my own Big Brother org with my girlfriend. Boom. From there, they were like, we need to get a brain out. It's going to be Alex. And Alex was like brutally killed that round. But
He's Italian.
you're annoying, Karen. Anyways, so Alex is here because I
No, it
truly
is
believe that
not.
Thank you.
Alex is like, I'm excited to see Alex. Like again, like we didn't really get to see Alex in Heat Wave. It was like he was in a good spot, like in the Brains tribe, but I don't think it was because like Alex was running the Brains tribe. It was just like there was the 4 brains that were active, and then the 2 brains that were not. And so, but then the minute the swap happened, like he was just like targeted right off the bat. So I'm like kind of excited. And again, we'll touch on it as well. Like Roberto and Alex in the same cast. Like I'm really just excited to see it. But I personally think Alex is gonna do well. I don't know how well. Again, but I think he can do well.
Whenever I see Alex or like hear Alex is playing a game, the first thing I think is, hey, it's that guy. And I think his picture like really summarizes
Bye.
that. And I like hear him saying it in his voice too. Like, hey, I
That
don't know
sucks because I hear it.
why. I enjoy Alex. He can do really well. He is definitely a comp beast.
Hmm.
And one that I would watch out for. I don't know, but he also gets brutally annihilated more often than not. So
Yeah.
I'm hoping
I've
that
seen
doesn't
that.
I've
happen.
never seen a man get blindsided more than Alex, honestly.
And like it sucks when you're doing it. Not that I would
Yeah.
ever do that, but like wow. I don't
Now,
want
Oh,
to
It
trust
do
just
me,
it.
sucks. It just sucks for you.
trust me,
now,
every time I talk to Alex, he finds a way to remind me that I blindsided him in his first Survivor game by stealing his immunity results. But I digress. But yeah, Alex gets blindsided a lot.
Hmm.
So the
oh my
goal here
God.
is Alex to not get blindsided.
Yes.
Honestly though,
Hey.
no, like damn. I even felt a little blindsided at first because I didn't want Alex to go anywhere during this pre-swap. I'm literally like, okay, I gotta go handle some stuff. I can't be there. Okay, he'll be there when I'm back. Wrong.
I
Dead ass
genuinely
wrong.
think when he left, he was of no real threat to anyone, and it did not serve any real benefit to anyone. I was like, why this? Like, there's so many other things that you could be hyper fixating on. But
Right.
also, like,
Well,
if you can get him out before he fucking goes on an immunity streak, I guess.
I mean, Roberto has myself and Alex getting rid of Alex to thank for his exit the following round. So
It's beautiful. It's beautiful.
no, I'm
It's
I'm
like
excited.
poetry.
Honestly, I'm so excited to see Alex play. When I saw him in his project, he said, "Dang, now I can't pretend to be with you this time." And I was like, "T,
Bye.
that's fair. That's fine." But no,
I've played with Alex, and I just want to say I have to be real. I'm gonna be real. When I played with Alex, I had this thought in my head because obviously I played Heat Wave and never had to play with him, and everybody talked up Alex, and I was like, oh, I know Alex won um Kaleidoscope slash Inferno, and I was like, okay, like I think Alex is going to be like a really good player. And then I played Wheel with Alex, and I was like, your brain is not braining. Like,
I will I will say Alex is very what's the word?
Game focused.
Environmental. Like if he's in the
mm,
right environment, then yes, Alex excels.
mhm.
I
Yeah.
just haven't seen that environment yet. I'm hoping this is the environment.
Bye, bye.
no,
Well,
I haven't seen that environment yet.
I mean, like every game I played with him, he's been blindsided.
Mhm.
Like Grace.
Sorry, I was trying to scroll through. So I do feel Alex is definitely going to do a lot better with this group of people. I feel he will be able to insulate himself fine. And also, like, a huge reason why what led to his downfall was like not only just him being a host, was because literally because of Minor. That whole cast was up on Miner's ass. Even the people who were not on his tribe. We need to get Miner out, so let's take the shot at Alex.
That whole cast. Now, don't include
Morgan.
me.
Now, Miss
Morgan,
Ma'am,
I was
don't include
I was
me either.
one.
Morgan,
I
you
was
were
the one person
Morgan, you were complicit at a moment.
in targeting Minor, not because of that.
I didn't say
because I
targeting,
was in
but
an alliance.
there were points where Morgan's like, no, I'll just go with my alliance instead.
Yeah, in the first round of the game.
Yeah, wow. That's so complicit.
How dare I?
I was given minor by a couple of bronze, and I was like, it's not me. Okay.
No, literally, I clocked that T. I was like, these people
Couple
are
of
fucking
bronze.
obsessed with Minor for some reason, and I had to sit there in that game and be like, I know how stupid it sounds. I know it sounds like I'm fucking lying. Minor isn't doing anything. Minor talks about scary movies and books
Mine is
with
literally
me.
going,
Like,
he. Have you read a book yet?
literally, I'm in book club. Shout out to our book club.
You have a
Because
book club with Minor?
yes,
You don't?
I didn't know
Right.
this was a thing.
Mine is reading like 20 books at a time and has probably a dozen book clubs.
I know that Minor's
And
reading.
finishes it all. Like,
Minor's not who we're talking about. Alex is here.
I'm like, let's talk about Minor
We're like, let's read back.
because I'm obsessed with Minor in a good way.
What do you think about Alex?
That guy.
I'm worried for Alex. I think if the tribe isn't worried about like winning challenges, then Alex could be a very good option for a boot.
I also, here's the thing, I was looking at it, that tribe he's specifically on, I see him and Timmy being a strong duo. At least for the beginning. And I feel that could help him, but also, here is where I feel Alex could also fall. I see people like Tyler going after him.
Mm-hmm.
Because of course,
I see people like Brian Weber going after him.
I
Mm-hmm.
don't think it's smart for Tyler to go after Alex that quick, but maybe that's just my personal opinion.
Well, just because
no,
it's
that's not
what's
so.
smart doesn't mean it's
We'll-
not what will
We'll
happen.
we'll talk
Exactly.
about
Alex is
Tyler.
also super loyal.
We'll talk about Tyler later, but I
Well-
truly believe that Tyler would like try to make a Heat Wave alliance. So I don't think so.
I
True.
hope. Yeah, we'll get to him in a minute.
Like Alex, playing with Alex, Alex is super loyal. I see it in multiple games. Like
Don't remind me.
he does stick to a group and usually does what he says. So like, is he the
Yeah.
biggest strategic like threat? Probably not. So I think people would want to include him in alliances.
Alex is very good as an ally. I will say that. So you
Mhm.
blindside him.
I even convinced him not to use the
Yeah.
veto on me in
And
Wheel.
how'd that work out?
And
How'd
he
that
did
work
it,
out?
even though it didn't make any sense.
How'd that work out?
Well, we'll talk about that in a bit.
Okay. Does anyone else have anything about Alex?
No.
Okay, I'm gonna stop sharing these previews. Kind of excited for this next person. If I can find their photo. They might have like my favorite cast photo this season.
It's not mine.
Goodbye. Never get it up. Oh my god. I hate Zoom sometimes. Share screen, share graphic. And we'd actually have Anthony. Anthony played last season. Really shady, really funny. Like honestly, like we like night zero, we were like Anthony's winning. He's the shadiest one. Like he's gonna be the villain we all want. And then he was forced to be like in the hero group because he was in the minority. And then because of the dark votes, Anthony made probably the worst move in distortion history. And so he was supposed to be 6-6, and his closest ally was one of the people that was getting voted out. Anthony thought it'd be funny to throw his vote on Adam, which caused it to be 6-5-1, causing his number one ally to leave. And then Anthony proceeded to do the math at his prod chat and go, "Did I fuck up?"
That was the funniest moment of last season. Did I fuck up?
And then the round after, unfortunately, he tried to target Trevor when Trevor was immune.
And
And
Anthony was like
you-
whipped on being really safe at
Anthony,
safe.
Anthony
I
was
mean,
so good. Like it was between Adam and AJ at a point. Like, and then Anthony was like, you know what? I want. I'm hoping. Here's what I'm gonna say about Anthony. He also is not very connected. He does know some of these people because of Spellbound. He wasn't there long, but he did play. Um, Anthony made that mistake because of his. I'm trying to think of the wording. I don't want to say insecurities because it's just a fucking org. But he was very concerned because this was the round that they did touchy subjects, and Anthony had won who was most likely to get second. So I think what happened, and he could probably answer it better, he tried to make a move to prove that he wasn't just someone who's going to get second. Didn't work out for him. But I'm happy that he's coming back. He was very excited to get his materials in, gave us this bomb photo that Benji doesn't like. But
Don't like it much either, but it's
I
fine.
mean, it's giving. It's just not
here's what I'm gonna say about Anthony.
what
Anthony, if
it's not giving
Anthony,
for me, and that's okay.
if Anthony could get himself like locked in on his tribe like right away, I think Anthony will do well because Anthony was on losing tribe from losing tribe to losing tribe to losing tribe. If he could get on a roll and make those connections, I believe Anthony can make it far in this game. If he can't, he might just get like tripped up trying to do something major and it just won't work out. But Grace or anyone else?
I feel as long as he doesn't make any stupid decisions like he did before and actually kind of has some agency, I can see him doing well. And I feel here's a huge difference. He was like out of town for most of the game last season. He's going to be at home. So maybe he will have more time on his hands to be able to secure any bonds he needs to. I don't know. Like
I
I
just
said, I
like
feel especially
entertainment.
connected, the Andromeda people, they're gonna have a difficult time.
Benji, weren't you in his project for Spellbound for
Oh
like five
yeah, I
minutes?
forgot.
Bye. Bye. Oh my
No,
god.
yeah, Anthony is a Bay Area kiddo after my own Bay Area heart. I hear that. Yeah, this man had a very unlucky run in Spellbound, unfortunately.
And
He was
yeah,
literally giving, okay, save, save. I blinked and he was gone and was like, Anthony, what the fuck? He was like, I don't know.
Oh my god.
I do think though that him playing Spellbound is going to help him here because he
Hmm.
did make connections with some of these people. Some of these people did vote him off. And I think despite that, like if he just played Andromeda and then came in here, I would be a little worried. But he did play Spellbound, so he does know some of those people at least. So it could help
Hmm.
him a tiny bit, depending on how people are going to play.
Wait, what tribe is he? Wait, I'm trying to remember which tribe. I think he can. You know why? With his sense of humor, and I said this to Seb earlier, I see him and Lee getting along very well.
Oh,
Yeah.
Lee's iconic, so yeah, that makes sense.
And I feel that's going to with the type of people I know Lee works with, that's definitely going. I'm predicting that happening.
Okay, does anyone else have anything to say about Anthony?
I just want to say I am all for the entertainment value of Anthony. Like that's always what I'm looking for in a cast is like who would be the three? Who are the entertaining girls? And this is one of my three. Like I want some good behind the scenes content from Anthony. I'm waiting. I'm excited. If I know anything, it's a good prod chat. So
Period. Okay.
We're
After
gonna watch Good Judy's.
like who was after Anthony? I'm so stupid.
Who
You
was
got
after Peppermint?
It might be the other A.
It
You know
is
what? You know
Austin.
what? You know what?
Is it
You know
Austin?
what? Next up is Austin. So,
Oh,
so
Morgan with showmance.
unlike the others,
bye.
I don't really have like a, oh my God, in their season they did blah blah blah, then they did blah blah blah. Austin was on a tribe, and then people cheated. So,
Well,
and in the past, we've been trying to give the people who have played previously a chance to come back and get their second chance. And we had offered a spot to Austin and his partner this season. Fortunately, his partner did not accept her spot, but Austin is here to keep the fort down and be our only quarter quo rep. Um, but Austin is chaotic. But when
mhm,
Austin plays, he plays. I'm excited to really get to host Austin this season, truly see the flip floppery that he is. Um,
mhm,
and
That's what
yeah, I'm excited.
that's what I've been saying. Like every time I keep bringing, like every time he's brought up, because I've played with him so much and have had to deal with the messiness so much from him. I am very excited to now be able to see his messiness. And like I don't have to deal with it on a player perspective. I'm so excited and so ready to see it on a hosting.
real, real. Oh my God. Obviously, I have a good little batch of experiences with Austin. Always on the wrong side of Austin, I fear. Um, Even if I don't want to be, literally both times. That's fine. But yes, I love the mess. Like I can sit there at the end of the day, even when I get done dirty, and I'm like, you know what? That was messy as hell, and I love that. So Austin will be a liar. Austin will be a snake, and I
And I
can't wait to see
love
it.
him for it. I want him
Exactly.
to. You know, I I've only played with Austin and very instantly bonded over, yeah, we'll do the nasty dirty shit. I don't give a fuck. Like, this is not RuPaul's best friend race. Like, I'm here to win or be nasty or both. And he gave me a 4-3-2-1. Morgan, you remember. Um, and and
Let's just attack Morgan.
he also used the intel I only told him on accident because I was stoned, and he flipped that on me so fucking fast. I was like, as you should, please go win. Like, one of the only people that I'm like, you can out villain me, and I'm gonna be like, I know that's right.
Work, bitch.
Like,
Right.
thank you. I
Like
let
this
it
work,
happen.
nothing in my favor, but I'm here for you, bitch.
Yes. So I'm he just has to get that footing. He just has to have someone that's like connects with him, because I think he can have a little slow start when it comes to the social and like getting secure like that. But once he
Mhm.
is, he will fuck it up for
Oh,
somebody.
Yeah, once
honestly,
Austin's locked in, it's over.
like
Yeah.
Austin's like one of my top contenders this season.
Hmm.
Like mostly because like I knowing Austin, he's really gonna play into this like pity me, my season got canceled. Pity me, I didn't get the full experience. Like
You know,
I
I
think
didn't
Austin.
even get to play, honestly, my season.
Ah, I'm
It
so
just wasn't even good.
Bye.
Sorry, I just stepped outside to smoke a cigarette real quick. Um,
fucking rotted. That's so funny.
I love him so much. He makes me want a cigarette so damn bad.
That's the episode quote for the caster. So, does anyone else have anything else?
I have not played with Morgan Showmance, but
It was a faux man's bitch, not too much.
but
I will. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
what is a hero origin story without a villain origin story? You know, I love. I don't necessarily love to play with the villain 100%, but bitch, they're fun to watch. Like I want like
Yeah.
everything that I don't want to have to deal with in the game. I want to watch. I want the backstabbing, the conniving, the votes, the idols. I want everything under the kitchen sink thrown, and then he's going to throw a boomerang right at their ankles and be like, "Okay, nope, time for you to go." Like I'm ready. And I hope he can deliver on what we want and so much more for himself.
I here's the and what I've seen as of late, specifically from Austin. His even though he's as messy as he is, what I've realized in the past orgs that he's been in, his messiness has gotten him decently far.
Mm-hmm.
EXP, he did get voted out and brought back, but literally, like he got brought back into the game because of his messiness and his lying, and that's how he ended up still baking into the mid merge. If he puts in, if he needs the only thing he needs to polish some of that, and I think if he does that, especially in this game, he can be good. But also, there is a part of me that's fearing for him because some people are already gonna know what they're running into when they see him here. And I feel people can very well use that. Oh, Austin's about to be messy. Let's go ahead and get rid of him now.
Yeah.
Right.
I think everyone says that. I feel like everyone's like, I know how Austin plays. And then
Actually,
Austin like has one deep conversation with them.
Yeah,
Austin has
literally.
one deep conversation. with
Austin
them.
will do his boo-hoo thing and be like, nah, I just don't know why everyone's trying to say that I'm out here being messy. I haven't,
I
nobody's
haven't really
talking to
done
me.
much all
I just
day.
finished smoking a cigarette. And it's
Yes.
like, oh,
This
okay, period.
accent
Let's work with Austin.
is
He's from
You're like,
Kentucky.
so
yeah,
this
you're like,
country
wow,
accent is so rotted.
You're like, oh, Austin, all Austin's doing is smoking. Like,
Nobody's even talking to him, which makes sense because everyone's saying, fuck Austin. We can just get rid of Austin. He's messy and chaotic. You're like, oh, it makes sense. Meanwhile, Austin's like, like
Literally.
Yeah, I'm also,
everybody's chain smoking cigarettes,
Yo,
actually.
I'm just also
it's on a
he's kind of
literal chain. Just
he's kind of in a weird spot. He's kind of in a weird spot as well because there's nobody else from his season that is in this cast. Well, Timmy, whatever, he's season one, but nobody else. Everyone else at least has a few people with them in their cast. He's the only one that doesn't. So I'm interested to see where that puts him with him being, I mean, the plan was he wasn't going to be the idea when we asked his partner as well, is we wanted to give a duo from that season a redemption, but they just didn't work out because of him being the only one to accept that spot. And yeah, I'm just curious.
Who was his duo?
oh, Leah. That's mother. So upset she said no. Anyways, there's nothing else on Austin. I'm gonna stop sharing.
but sharing is caring, friend.
Yeah, we're gonna go to the next up. Next up is Brian from season 1. Zaddy. Um,
Never thought I'd heard Seb say that in a sentence.
that's what he says about himself. That's what Brian
Oh, well.
Zaddy. So Brian played season 1. He was in the before there was the boat, there was triple threat. Before there was the core, there was triple threat. And before whatever alliances the other seasons had, there was
Right.
threat. So triple
Before the
threat is
Infinity Tribe,
before the whole Infinity Tribe, there was Brian DeLeon, Jason, and Eric, and they had their little thing. Now Brian, see, like I want to say like there was flaws in Brian's game. Brian's biggest flaw in season 1 was his activity level. Brian was very hands-on with all the strategy and all the social, but he wasn't really active. And kind of with Anthony at Final Five, he tried to make a big move in keeping like the Lyndon was the big target at Final Five, and Brian tried to make a big move at Final Five to try and keep her in. It didn't work out, but his alliance still brought him to the end. Jason won unanimously. And now Brian's here to hopefully make it to the end and get votes this time. I think Brian could do well if he's active. I think he can do well. I've seen Brian make it super far in games. Brian is very, and I mean this in the nice way, like in the org way. He's very manipulative. And it will definitely work out. If he's active, he could kill this game because Brian was doing really well in the pre-merge, before like the activity issue started. Um, and like the blind side of Mr. Jackson Lamar, um, was all him. But yeah, I'm excited. I think Brian could do well. Wow, talking a bunch today.
Def
I don't
Brian
know them.
feel if he is active enough, he's going to do so well in this cast. And I also feel he's going to definitely be a strong force in the pre-merge. And that's because Brian's also very good at comps. This man literally, one of his hobbies is to make comps. So he knows the strategies, he knows everything that goes into it. So no, he definitely, and also just like knowing him on a human level as well, he definitely is, if he puts his all into it and has the time to do it, he's going to be very good socially. And I feel people are going to warm up to him as well. Yeah, as long as if he's inactive though, that's definitely going to be an issue. I feel he's going to get targeted, but also I can see even if he is a little, I can also see him being one of those inactive players that just keeps riding along because he has some use to him.
He's someone that like I know I haven't ever played with. I'm pretty sure he played Applause a season that I was on prod for. And I've like seen him around like obviously Distortion season 1, but I don't remember much about him other than like he seems really likable. I believe it's always like Brian De Leon. Like people are always like, "Oh my God," excited to see him in games, but I think and it sounds like there's like risk of him being inactive or sometimes he is a little more on the inactive side. So it'll be
Well, some of the
interesting to see.
yeah. To be fair, like to defend Brian, he I don't know if he still does, but at the time of season 1, he was in Singapore. So
Time
it was a
zones
big
will do
time zone
that.
thing. It was a big time zone thing. I wouldn't say like Brian was purposely being inactive, but like
I mean, I worked overnights my season, and y'all know, like from midnight to 5 a.m., I was sending 99 plus messages to my prod chat, and then I was not waking up until the evening, like impending a tribal. So
Let's also put this into perspective. If he is still in like the Philippines, that's a 13-hour distance
yep.
Eastern. Like
well, and that's
for
the
this
thing
man to also
though.
make it that far and be like, "Hey, look, time was not for me."
But as
Like,
I said, also on the flip side, he like anytime I do hear about him, it is in like a woo, like oh my gosh, right? So like even with the time difference, even with like some inactivity potentially, still likable. Like people
yeah,
still excited to see
I agree. I
him.
feel like it's gonna be a very minor thing. Like
Yeah,
he's done it once, he'll do it again.
Karen like took my reaction when he said yes to playing. I was like, "Whoa, Brian."
Obviously, I don't know Brian, but I am excited
Learn
to get to know new people.
learn Brian.
Morgan is the equivalent of the Kiki Palmer meme where it's like, I don't know this man.
No,
Sorry to this
literally,
man.
sorry to this man. If I saw him walking down the street,
I would know.
I
I
wouldn't know a thing.
I do appreciate finalists being in this season also. So this is now the second finalists we've seen.
Yes, 2 of 3 so far. We did ask almost all the finalists.
Wow.
Unfortunately, Sean said no. I was upset. But anyways,
I was waiting. You know, I kept saying, is Sean gonna be here?
okay. If that's
They're gonna be
everything,
like, who dat?
if everything's about,
Yes.
if we're all good, If everyone's done with Brian, next up.
I feel like it's Brian.
Yeah,
It's
we're done with Brian. Here's Brian. So, like I said,
Not this
af-
Brian.
after
It's giving
after
Trixie and Katya because both of their names are also Brian.
Period.
Karen, cover your ears. Karen, cover your ears. The core is the most dominant alliance, and or not the core. Oh my god,
The bow.
the bow is the most dominant alliance in distortion
The
history.
core,
Uh,
please.
but before, but kind of like before there was the boat, there was triple threat. Before there was the boat, there was the burrito. Which was Jacob
The
Adorno,
burrito.
Blake, and
Oh.
Brian
I
Weber.
do just want to say, for like most dominant, it took one girl boss to completely dismantle it.
Ooh.
No, it took Lake
Agreed.
dismantling. It took Karen. It took Karen. It took
That boat couldn't stay in the lake.
Ah.
Bye.
Anyways, for every alliance, you have your, Brian was definitely very much like the under the radar. Like the way that this was probably the biggest blind side of season two, all because of I love Keaton, but he was a little not trying in season two. And then Brian, Brian basically like Jacob, Brian, and Lake like destroyed the pre-merge. Like every time they were like in a spot of power, it worked. And then they made it to the merge. They working with Mikey and Sean with the boat. Brian, Jacob, and Lake found all the advantages in season two. That being said, Brian played a power on Keaton in which he had to vote by 10 a.m. EST. So Keaton stayed up all night getting Brian out. Well, and Karen and Sean, but mostly Karen and Keaton. Um, and they spent all
Giggles.
night. They spent all night. Oh, Nick's here. Hi, did you kick Grace off?
No.
No,
No.
Oh,
Here.
oh, I didn't see it. LOL.
who do you think
Anyway,
I am? Seb?
yeah, I kicked you off. But yeah, basically, yeah, they spent all night getting Brian out. Big blind side. But I'm excited to see Brian here. Of course, you have your Brian worries. Like, Brian is very chaotic. Brian doesn't know when to stop. Brian needs a chill pill.
Brian needs to
But
work with a girl boss every once in a while.
yeah, but if Brian can, I know this is second chances. You're supposed to like find a new way. Like don't like try to repeat your mistakes. Like, but honestly, if Brian can like kind of do the same thing he did in season two, but better, like he'd be good.
If he can
Work with a
hone
girl
it
boss.
in, hone it in.
What I will say about Brian is me and somebody on this call just had a little experience with Brian not too long ago. And
Third time, not the charm.
what I've learned from that is Brian plays very similar to how he's always played. And I can't tell yet if that is gonna help or hinder him in
I-
this game.
I think
Brian's
Brian, like Alex, like in the perfect storm, thrives because he is
Oh, yeah.
chaotic. He does like doing shit. He likes making shit happen. He is
Mhm.
good at getting nestled in a group, a man group, but a group. And like he's smart. Like he's not a complete doofus, but
Oh
like
no, not by any means.
he gets like he does shit like where he gives someone an idol and then they blurt that they got the idol and he gets blindsided out type shit. Like
I
stupid.
just think he trusts the wrong people sometimes.
Yes. And
And
he
by
is
sometimes I
very
mean almost all the time.
yes.
So he gave us a bio moment.
Yeah.
but,
Yeah.
like
Girl. Don't do that.
at the end of the day, Brian, I don't know. It's really hard to like truly like predict how Brian's gonna do because Brian, like, in my opinion, like I've hosted him twice and he played two different ways both times. So like kind of interested to see how he comes into this season because he was saying in his prod chat a week ago about how like he really wants to play like the one ride or die game instead of like the alliance game like he usually does. And I'm like, okay, I'm kind of interested to see how it works out.
I was going to say it'll be interesting, and I think that this is a good cast for him to find really good connections or have a really
Mhm.
good connection. Like, I think this is a good mix and like people that he'll probably gravitate towards someone. And I hope it's someone really fucking chaotic and random, but it might just be another bruh, and that's okay.
I think Brian's also the type of person that is either going to go extremely far into games or is going to be one of the first four boots. Like Brian, I don't think I've ever seen him be like middle of the pack, early to mid jury or like late pre jury, mid pre jury. He's always like either one of the first people out or he's like in the top four of games.
Mhm.
Anyone else?
Still do not know this person. And that's okay.
Also, I do have to say that I am rooting for Brian because in any game I've ever played with Brian, Brian has been fully 100% committed to me always. And so it might be because I have something between my legs, and that's okay. I'm at peace with that.
Oh, I
Um,
don't.
We're on YouTube.
I am
that's why I
always
didn't say
rooting
the
for
word.
Brian too, even though I know he's never actually
Always against
winning.
you.
It's fun though. I love the little game of cat and mouse, and we know it. And we always
The
talk
issue
about The
is the
Bone being
issue,
one of our favorite seasons of Survivor. I don't forget Brian. It's one of my favorites.
Karen.
And,
The issue with that is you're always the cat in that situation.
and I like to play with my food. It's
I can't with
Before
y'all.
she
Okay.
rips their fucking head off.
Okay, guys.
Period.
Next up. Oh my god.
Sorry, I was.
So little tiny backstory, this man, all the past like 2 months, like halfway through Andromeda, we started planning out people we were gonna ask. Everyone on prod, including me, was like, this man's gonna say no. He's not gonna say yes. There's no way he says yes. There's no way he says yes. And he said yes. So we're here with Cam.
Oh, I was.
God.
Oh my god. Oh my god. Can I please speak? Can I please speak?
Well, I gotta do my
yes,
little
because I
blurb.
need a minute. So
I
Oh
gotta do
my
my
god.
let me do my blurb. Let me do my blurb. Let
Hurry
me do
up.
my blurb. Okay, so Cam came into season two, you know, little newbie, even though he had been playing for a while. It was his first Skype game back in a long, long time. Proceeded to tell his prod chat, the usual Cam stuff. I'm trolling. I'm not taking this game seriously. No, this game's not gonna mean anything. Then he met Karen. He said, now I have someone to work with. So he was like, I hate all these people. And then by the end of like night one, he was like, okay, I kind of like Karen. So we gotta go with this. So Cam and Karen was born, or Cameron. Cam, Cam was able to like really build his own moves. It was a little frustrating because a lot of the times Cam was seen as like Karen featuring Cam. And even so much so that at the first annual Billy's Big Brother night, they sniped Cam because of Karen. And
they
Cam,
literally shot my baby to get revenge on me because
yeah,
Karen, the
after
he
doors
real
you
needed
talk,
to
open.
take me
after
out. But anyway,
after they killed
Karen, the doors you've opened.
after they killed Jacob, the boat decided, mostly Sean, but the boat decided it was time for Cam to go. And so, Cam will speak on this countless times throughout the season
shut up.
about how he should have used his safety without power, but he didn't. And we asked a bunch of questions in the prod chat today. We were like, what's your one goal? And he's like, to play his advantage successfully so the people can stop harassing me about not playing advantage correctly. He's like, that's all I want. I just want one advantage and I want to play it correctly. And I said, period. But I'm super excited for Cam to be here. Ah!
I'm gonna cut you off here, Karen. I know how excited you are. I'm so sorry. I just watched Cam play an All-Stars game of a different org. And due to college and a whole bunch of other factors, he had to quit that game. Almost at the jury phase, not quite. And watching the way Cam plays and sets himself up in games is some of my favorite. Like Cam specifically is one of my favorite players to watch, just because like he does it in a way that I've described another person on this call, Karen. He does it in a way that's just so effortless. Like it does. Karen also is very good at like doing things without making it seem like she's doing anything, and that's exactly what Cam does. Cam gets things done, but that in his like outer appearance to the world, couldn't give a fuck less, but gives the most fucks. Does that make sense?
Mhm.
Like I feel like Cam plays with every ounce of his being. And it's just funny to watch because like you'll talk to him in his prod chat and he'll be like, "Oh, I'm just being silly and goofy right now." And it's like, "What are you talking about? You just set this whole thing up." And he was like, "Yeah, I was bored." And like I just love watching him. I know he's gonna do well. I'm praying that he's gonna do well. I'm super excited for him. Go ahead, Karen, because I know that you are biting at the bits.
Oh, I just love Cam so much. Everyone knows it. That's my fucking hottie, obviously. I mean, you said effortless. I would say he definitely likes to troll and play up that he's not trying, which means that like on the flip side, he's really open to crazy shit. Like when you're playing up you don't give a shit, you'll go along with the crazy thing. You'll support the bitch round one that's saying, "Hey, I'm actually flipping and turning the vote, and we're about to be on like a 5 try where everyone's gonna be against me. I just need one person to be with me and we can maybe make some shit happen." He was like, "Yeah, okay, I guess I kind of give a shit now. Like, yeah, okay, I'm down." Like, and Cam's very smart and thoughtful and just like I love a troll. I love a villain who can be fun with it. And
Mm-hmm.
God, please promise me you didn't put any safety without powers in this game. Like
You're
give
not
this
gonna,
man
you're
just
not
a
gonna put,
nice easy extra vote, just a nice softball toss of an advantage. Like please for the love of Christ, like I am rooting for him so fucking hard.
so here's my one worry about Cam. Okay. So in the past, not so much distortion, but like we saw it in Spellbound and we saw it in Applause where like he gets in such a good position, but he can't hide that he's in a good position. So he automatically like is the first person that someone wants to snipe. Like look at Spellbound, for example. Like he was in such a good spot, like really running the merge, and then like but he was so obvious with it, they were like, okay, anyone with an idol could just get him out. Come on, let's go.
I feel like him and one other
Let's-
person that we're talking about later are the exact same in that sense. I think the thing with Cam, the difference with Cam though, and Karen kind of touched on it, is Cam is so adaptable to situations. Like if something's going wrong, Cam's not going to be afraid to like run away from a sinking ship. And he will and has multiple times.
Also, will say Cam is very loyal and really good at trusting. Because like the round before, Cam should have used his safety without power. We were able to pull off a mega blindside on fucking Jacob Adorno with an idol in his pocket by convincing Cam, who was the target, to not use his safety without power so it wouldn't trigger them to use their idols, and we would pull Wesley in to vote with us. Like, and it worked. But Cam was smart and knew like instead of just playing his safety without power and like losing me or Wesley, like I was gonna be Sareed out anyway.
I was just saying, lose Wesley.
Oh yeah, he had immunity. That's why we were in such a pickle. Anyway, um, people don't like when I say I was gonna be Sareed, but you know.
That's the
Anyway,
truth.
yeah, I was. I was. Um, but Cam is smart. Cam will take the opportunities. Like, he knows what's good for him sometimes. Like, he acts on it sometimes. Let's say that.
I'm super excited.
I will say we did a prod draft earlier, and I immediately drafted Cam for the reason being that I have full on confidence that he is probably going to do well in this cast. No matter what happens, I just see these people wanting to work with him, and he has a good enough social game.
He's fun. Wet
He's
leg.
And
Yeah.
also, kind of, we touched on the chaos thing. I feel he's not too chaotic, but like he is chaotic enough to like make crazy things happen in the game, and it'll benefit him.
The last thing I'll say about Cam before we move on. Cam's kind of the same way as Alex, where like the people that are from his season playing with him like fully live to the storyline that we're like trying to build. So like Cam and like we'll touch on Vanessa later and like but Cam and Vanessa have their thing. Like we'll touch on like Kevin, but like they've interacted in the game. Like we'll touch on like and even Brian, like we'll touch on it, but like Brian was part of the blind side, like to get him out. Like it's interesting. It's so cool to see these like little loopholes and like kind of like these like paths to see the game. But anything else before I move on?
I just have to say, I'm so excited to see Cam play in a game. I've never gotten to see Cam play in a game.
So
The only games I see Cam playing are Roblox, Eviction Notice, and Cam is always so good at that, and that's literally Roblox. So, like, I can only imagine the social connections Cam is able to pull off in games.
Okay, well, after Cam is a friendly face to some people on this call, and Morgan's already laughing because they know who it
I'm
is.
so excited!
It's Jackie.
Brother.
Now, now, my little blurb. Jackie, one of my besties, went to college with Jackie. They played an org like eons ago, and they were like, orgs just are not for me. This community makes me cry.
Real.
And
So rude.
she was like, orgs ruin my mental health. And I was like, that is so valid. Like,
Right.
so when Heat Wave, like with this Heat Wave, I was like, premiere season, like this is gonna be the best season. Like right after Quarter Quell, I was like, I reached out to Jackie and I was like, I know you're gonna say no, but like, would you apply to one of my future distortion seasons? And she
Wasn't
goes,
it a joke that you and Jacob had?
oh yeah. So I bet Jacob that Jackie wouldn't apply to my org. And then Jacob's like, no, I think she would. And then I was like, oh, never mind. She already applied. So Jackie played. Benji, cover your ears.
No.
She ate the fuck out of the brains. She was munching. Like, oh, and then she got
No.
blindsided. But then she like her and Jen, like, and her, Jen, Benji, and Staten fully were like, or no, not really Staten, but like,
But
but
Love you,
like
Staten, but
they
you
were
didn't do
like,
that.
Roberto, leave.
And did full on boo.
And then Jackie, like, she wanted immunity, but like
She used to participate in another.
she wanted immunity before that.
She did.
But
He
but
had
then,
McDonald's to eat.
yeah, there was a round there was so Minor left, and then the round that Jen left, Jackie was supposed to leave, but then she won the mental maze. Or not the mental maze, the escape room. Yep. And then the round after was pressure cooker, where Jackie had an on running joke where like she asked if she needed a bra for comps. And then we said, yes, you need a bra this time. She goes, oh, it's endurance. I'm not doing it.
She said, I'm eating my McDonald's while
She
y'all.
li-
She literally sat on call eating McDonald's while LJ and Tyler are holding their hands on the wall for like 3 hours.
Bye.
Literally.
Talked about
And
Vanessa ordering taco season 2.
and she like tried to reach for, but we'll talk about that later. But
Did she
Jackie
try to
really,
like reach for something?
Jackie Jackie's interesting because like Jackie doesn't really like think about strategy. She just does it. Like Jackie fully isn't like, oh yeah, this is what we're gonna do. She's like, yeah, this is like regular, this is like real life, right? Like you gotta maneuver it like it's real life. Jackie's never seen Survivor, never seen Big Brother, only knows of it because of me and Jacob. Like, and yet she eats the fuck out of these games. Like,
Listen, that's the beauty of Jackie, though. Like getting to work with Jackie in season 5, like she's so real and so upfront that everyone's just like, I love taking Jackie at face value and running with it. This is why she eats. And trust me, I didn't have to cover my ears for that one because a bitch isn't stupid. I was with her 90% of this game. I knew at
oh,
some point.
I was gonna say something different when I told you to cover your ears.
I mean, you can say it now, but
Did she try to get you out first?
Oh
oh
yeah,
no, she
I
told me about that.
tried to get Benji out first, and then
Or
Corey.
Oh no,
Corey, who was like
she told me about
Corey,
that after the season.
Corey, who was like fully inactive, and Jackie being like, "We
Oh
should."
yeah,
But Benji.
Alex and
She
being like,
said,
"What
but
if we got-"
Benji.
her going to Brandon and Alex and being like, "What if we got Benji out first?"
oh yeah, no, she
I
told me about that after the season. I was fine with that. But like I literally rooting for Jackie. I love her. I worked with her very closely until I was one of those people that wanted to blindside her. I love you, girl. I'm so sorry. But no, I think if she's anything in comparison to what I got to personally witness, motherfuckers are in trouble. Like it's
I
going
think
to be difficult.
I think Jackie's biggest problem is she's really, really bad at looking at the big picture of things. And
Yeah.
yeah, she
So true.
is.
So
She
true.
she's very much of I'm looking at things in this moment right now, and I want things to get done how I need them to get done for me in this moment right now. And I'm going to say something a little controversial here and say that Jackie is probably one of the biggest reasons that LJ had such an easy time in season 5 because of moves that were made prior to the like actual like quote domination of things. A lot of those moves were Jackie's moves. And had she not made them in the way that she made them, LJ would have had a much harder time going.
And on top of that, she because she was so dominant in the early merge and the pre-merge, it was so easy for people like the core, Jen,
Benji even.
Morgan, Benji, Haley to all be like, yeah, Jackie's making all these big moves, guys. Like you see Jackie's also like very blunt, very much like,
Very
oh, if
owning
I
of
have an
what they'll
issue,
do.
I'm
Yeah.
calling the tribe chat type of
If
person.
there's
Not only
anything I
that,
have
but she's not afraid to own it. Like, oh, you're
exactly.
saying I made that move. I definitely made that move.
If
Which,
there's
like, in
Jackie,
these games is a bad thing.
Jackie said, I remember Jackie saying like in season 5, she was like, when I used to play orgs and lie to people, my mental health would be all fucked up because I didn't know who I was lying to and who I wasn't lying to. And it was starting to mess me up in real life. So Jackie spent all of Heatwave not lying to anyone.
true.
Yeah, just being 100% straight up the entire time. And it got her to what, final
Final
9?
9.
Final 9.
Yeah,
I'm
I
excited
wonder
to
who
see.
was eighth.
I will say though,
we're not talking about
it
it.
is kind of I am a little concerned about that because like you said, like Jackie doesn't always look at the big picture. She always looks like one move ahead, two moves at most. And I'm
Yeah.
afraid that she'll try to make like one big move in the pre-merge, and her other tribe mates are gonna be like, no.
Yeah.
No, I don't
No,
I
but
don't think that
seriously.
I don't necessarily think that'll be the problem. I think it'll be everybody else who's like, "Oh, Jackie just did that." That's crazy. Like we have to get rid of it. Also, like on top of that, I think it's the whole like I want Jackie to do so well this season, but I also like know that like Jackie values her mental health over anything, and
Sure.
I don't think she's gonna lie to people in this game. And I
Mm,
that on top of only thinking one or two moves ahead
I'm
is a combination for disaster.
I mean, if there's anything I'm worried about when it comes to Jackie's game is that there was a very specific moment where there was immunity up for grabs and she was the one that got it upon the swap. That was the start of her downfall because people were already looking at her at that point being like, she basically is like the pariah and did
Um,
this and wasn't able to, well, at least from what I gathered while I was in there.
I
It
mean,
could
it
have been
kind I mean,
perceived a
I
lot
can see
differently.
where you're coming from because, like, realistically, like, Jackie probably would have went over smoothly on her swap tribe, but I don't think it was Greed that really did that. I think it was Alex.
oh, it was 100%
Partially,
Alex.
but I also think that was enough to at least start the public rolling of
I think
the snowball, if
I
you
see where
will.
you're coming from, where it was very much like, hey, this newbie that no one really knows about, she's actually playing the game. Like,
Like no one was really looking at Jackie that hard until they started to look at Jackie.
yeah.
Like
Well,
she
I
could
think
have
it
had
was
a
a
far
combination of Alex Minor and Jen all at the same time, like
so
happening back to back to back.
yeah.
Yeah.
And Jackie being the only one to really be like, yeah, I did that.
Yeah, it's a community. Yeah, it's Roberto out. Like, but if
And I
anyone doesn't
respect
believe,
her for that.
I think as long as Jackie is as kind of like who was I talking like an Adam, as long as Adam D be specific, if she cleans up and polishes this time around, people need to they need to watch out because she will fucking eat them alive.
She will. If she can manage her like presence on top of the
Power.
game she wants to play, plus the power she would have from the way that she plays, which is I'm not gonna call it unorthodox, I'm just gonna call it like not as seen. She has a very viable potential to I won't know she'll take it, but she'll definitely at least go final tribal if she can dig deep.
I think it just needs to be said once more that this is my mother, like my
Mother.
birth mother.
Call me.
And having played with Jackie, it was so funny getting to Ponderosa and hearing her like just like not even see her own game almost. Like literally just sit there and be like, I wasn't even really trying. I'm like, girl, this was you not trying? What the fuck? Like you were running that shit. Like you had everyone wanting to
Well,
work with you and you like put all the pieces together and like sliced and diced in this bitch.
she didn't know
And
she wasn't trying.
Not probably
So
not as
now,
hard as she could.
so now she
yeah,
just needs to hone it in
yes.
and like
Like
have that bit of
that's my
foresight it seems
mother.
like she was missing. And
And then
like,
let the girls have it.
Like this is my winner pick. I'm just gonna say it. Miss Jackie is my winner pick. I want her to do so well. Like I don't care.
And not just
I
because
don't
she's our
care. Team
season five
Jackie.
sister.
I got my Team Jackie merch on. Like
Right. I need a
I'm
Team Jackie
here.
buff immediately. Not just because she's
Period.
our season five sister, because she's mother.
My winner
Because
pick
she's
hasn't
mother.
been talked about yet and won't be for a while, so.
okay.
Oh, Karen knows. Karen knows.
Oh, I know too. No worries. But anyways, we want to talk about another king. Next up is Jappy. Ah, I'm so excited.
Oh,
So here's my little
try not to
blurb.
say father challenge.
Here's my little blurb. So Jappy, cover your ears real quick. So in the beginning of season 6, before everything happened, we were a little worried. Jappy was having a tough time getting materials in. But to be fair, Jappy is from South Africa, so there was a little bit of time zone thing. Jappy got his materials in. It was amazing. I thought they were cool. We put him on his tribe. They lose. Oh my god, it's just chaos. But Joppy is very much like a special player. So once they swapped, Joppy made a really close connection with Blandon. And from there, like Joppy was like I do not care. It's smarter for me to work with Landon anyways. dropped their OG tribe, flipped on them completely. And it made Joppy kind of like a social pariah for a while because the only person that truly wanted to work with Joppy for a bit was Landon. But once they made the merge, Joppy was in a much better spot. They were like working with Max and Caleb and Landon, and it really truly was just like bad timing that Joppy got out because it truly became like, well, who is everyone not aligned with anymore? And it
I
kind of,
disagree with that.
I don't, but
Um, okay.
I'm not done.
Joppy.
I'm not
Oh,
done.
go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead. Go
I didn't
ahead.
even say my thing. Anyways, I'm a little worried about Joppy. I'm always worried about Joppy though. Joppy is a firecracker. Joppy doesn't know when to stop when it comes to arguments. But I think Joppy will tell you that too. Joppy was in like 4 public arguments, I think, during the season. I think it was more 3, but maybe I'm just overhyping.
4. It was 4.
Was it 4? Okay. But I love Joppy. I just hope that Joppy could find the same success that he did with with an ally like Landon, then in this game as well. Um, I know Joppy is not really on this side of the community, but he does know Tyler, as Tyler's in his prod chat last season. But and he knows his season 6 girlies. But other than that, I'm just excited to see how he does. You ready to Nick?
Yes. Joppy exceeded every single one of my expectations. A couple years again, Joppy, I firmly believed that Joppy was getting first boot when we started season 6. And I was not a Joppy supporter for a really long time. And just every single time he would find himself in a shit situation, while he was definitely the most vocal person and definitely like dug his grave further than he needed to at times. Um, he's just really fun to watch. He's
Oh
really
yeah.
fucking fun to watch. He's so goofy. And on top of that, he is smart with the way he plays. He's loud and he knows he's loud, so he uses it to his advantage to get things done that he wants to get done. Joppy also was in the closest and most chaotic vote out that I feel like we've had in Distortion. I believe his vote out was 3-2 to 2 to 1 to 1.
It was 3-2 to 2 to actually I think you're right.
And the only reason he got sent home was because somebody flipped their vote off of Megan at the last second. Um, and so like with that, it's just like crazy to me because I do think he would have got like I think had Joppy stayed, he would have made it to the end probably. I think he probably would have taken Adam's place in the end. Um, but he just like is really fun to watch. Like Seb said, he flipped on his alliance, which was Gaggy, or on his OG tribe, which is Gaggy. He argued with everyone, which is very a la me. Um, he's just really funny and really fun to watch, and he's so dramatic. I love him.
When we were getting revealed the cast one by one, this was one of the names that was like, okay, I'm about to get a show, which that's all I need. I don't need Joppy to like kill the game. Do I see that happening? Maybe not, but I think Joppy is going to give us good TV, and I'm living for that. That's all I want. Just give
I
me good
could say,
TV.
give me the popcorn, give me the butter, give me the salt, give me all of it.
I
And
firmly
I'm
agree with Morgan. And when I look at Joppy, I also am like, I'm ready and I believe in you. Like you're gonna be the one to at least give me some TV.
He definitely will. This man is not afraid to start an argument. Another entertaining thing with him, he's the amount of lies he kept spinning last season, and people kept believing it, and nobody in the pre-merge, especially no, on the swap tribe. I just was sitting there all day watching him run circles around people in lies and lies and lies. And Landon, and AJ. Oh, I trust Joppy. We don't trust Adam anymore. I trust Joppy. Like, and this man
Damn.
was straight up lying.
So I don't. That's what scares me about Joppy is if he does that again, I don't like. Last season, Joppy was less known on the side of the community, so people were like, "Oh, this cute little South African man, I'm going to believe him over anybody because he's so sweet and kind." But that like those were the people that weren't at tribals with him, where he's like screaming at people, and so like it was easy to believe Joppy because Joppy just seems so innocent and seems so kind and is very kind. Um, but I just don't see that working here when everybody who's playing the game has the potential to see the game have had seen the game that Joppy played.
Yeah, I just every day I think about his fight with Crispy. It's such serotonin.
Crispy's just answering a planet, and Joppy's like, "Well, you don't talk to me."
You don't talk to it.
Oh my god, it was so good. It was so good.
But I think Jobby could do well if he finds himself in a good spot. I do see a couple people in this cast that he could definitely be butting heads with, most specifically Austin. I
Oh,
definitely
Oh,
oh
Oh, I
God.
could see like him and Jackie butting heads for sure.
Oh,
I
him and Joppy
don't
on the
put that in
same.
the air.
I
I
will
just think
say,
that Jackie's very headstrong and very like this is what's going to happen, and Joppy is very not that.
that is something, here's the thing. This is something I thought about. Him and Jackie are on the same starting tribe. That's one connection, one relationship I really want to see is those two. And I also want to see Joppy and Nick Mana.
Oh
Yeah.
god.
gotta do so though.
Oh, y'all set my sister up. Wait. Oh my god.
Is there anything else about Joppy that we need to say?
Good luck.
Not Morgan
Why?
basically translating to you gonna need it.
That tribe is
Yeah.
giving train wreck.
Next up,
Pagong.
we have Jonathan. Okay, so little Mr. Jonathan here had a little rough, and I mean by little I mean a lot of rough story when it comes to Camp Sunny Skies. The only ally he made right off the bat, well, he actually made two allies right off the bat. It was Nick Mana, who we'll talk about later, who was the first boot, and we have Michael Hearn, who was targeted for being a returnee. So it was very interesting to see Jonathan's gameplay truly being like digging his way out of a hole and trying to keep himself like afloat every round.
He
And
was
he honestly could have made it to the merge if it was not for the fact that, like Adam, neither tribe took the greed and it sent Jonathan out right before the merge. But I'm excited. From what I heard from people, Jonathan did really well in Spellbound. So I'm like kind of interested to see how Jonathan can either get himself in a good spot or if he isn't in a good spot, like kind of try to recreate what he did in Camp Sunny Skies. I want to see a game where Jonathan's like fully in control and looking at his tribe. I don't think it's gonna happen in the OG, but I could see. I really hope I could see Jonathan doing well in this cast, especially on his OG tribe right off the bat.
I think just based off of first impressions and hearing that, like Jonathan is probably not somebody that's I would say would be looked at as like, oh, they did really well in their season, obviously. So that could be good for Jonathan. I root for a little underdog moment. So don't know them, but rooting for them. Just a little bit, just a smidge.
I
so
agree. I'm a sucker for a underdog story and like having to fight a quite literally uphill like survivor battle. Like it's so much it's very entertaining but also very sad to watch because it's like especially if it's one that's uphill, it's like, well, bitch, let's see what you got.
You would
Just
know.
hearing. Oh, and what
Um, I
I
have played with Jonathan. Oh, go ahead, Karen. Go ahead.
I love Jonathan. We played together my first org, and he is so funny because like I've only seen him just be this very sweet, simple guy that is just sending the equal sign, parentheses, smiley face,
Eh?
you know the one, and it's just like, hello, smiley face, how was your day? I think we're good tonight, smiley face. And then he will pull off a move in another game and people will be like, he is a vile villain who will slice anyone's throat. And I'm like, really?
You need to
Jonathan?
stop calling me out.
So it's not just you. I've heard like it's not just that game. Like he's able to make moves and you wouldn't suspect it. Because it's not that he doesn't go out there on his own. He just doesn't usually get so much traction, I think. Like, because he is just usually pretty chill, like pretty mellow. Um, so I'm excited to see if he like melds in and like finds a good soft spot with some people or if they eat him up. He's not going to go
Um,
down without a fight. Like he's not one to just lay down and die either.
um, Jonathan's from my season. I wouldn't know that because we never interacted on my season because he was gone by the time we merged. Um, but I have played other games with Jonathan, and I have like very similar sentiments with Karen, where like my interactions with Jonathan have been like he's just this fun, lovable, kind guy who is very sweet and down to earth. But like other than Seb, I have heard other people be like, Jonathan's the fucking devil. And I'm like, huh? Jonathan? What are you
Look,
talking about?
looks
And
really
so
just
like
you.
I really hope this cast gives him like the space to find his footing because I do fear for others that if he finds his footing, it'll just be over from there. Um, because I have seen him in games where he just absolutely dominates. Um, but also I've seen him in games where like this season of Distortion or season 3 of Distortion where he just was constantly given the shit hand of the like deal of the hand. And I don't know if I said that right. But he's just basically been given a shit hand, a shit hand, a shit deal. Um, and like tried to dig his way out of it but couldn't. And Jonathan, I'm sorry I didn't take greed. That one's on me.
I earlier I was thinking about it and especially when let me see something real quick. I was like, who do I see in this cast doing well? And Jonathan is someone who I feel is definitely going to be somebody to look out for, especially with this being the second chances cast. I feel he is going to be a quiet enough player to where people are not even. I feel there's so many loud personalities in this cast, and I just see him sliding by and completely just like getting through, and nobody is even going to see him coming.
Mm-hmm.
Anything else about Jonathan? Awesome. Next up is Karen's number one ally in World's End. I gotta get them up. Terrible timing. It's Kevin.
It's like, who is he being sarcastic about and why? Oh,
Okay, so little blurb time. So Kevin comes into World's End with his girlfriend playing the season prior. And he's hosting this little game, you might have heard of it, applause. Well, that took all of his time. So Kevin wasn't the most active person in season two, very drawn away by applause stuff. Um, but by some random chance, Kevin holds the record for most times avoiding tribal in the pre-merge. Um, and he comes into the merge, and a little shook. He doesn't really have any fair ground, fair footing because of the swaps and because he never been to a tribal. And he would have survived at Final 13 had not been for Wesley's Safety Without Power, which ultimately caused everyone to vote out Kevin instead. So now we're here. Kevin's an interesting one. Same thing with Jonathan. I heard he did pretty well in Spellbound before he was blindsided. But like truly, like in my opinion, Kevin is a good game player if he can find the right people to kind of bounce off with. I don't know if that's this cast. But I'm gonna stay a little hopeful. I think Kevin could do decently well.
The crickets or something, mate. I don't know Kevin like that, but I have witnessed Kevin play in Spellbound, and I don't know.
Sorry.
I
And
love how
that's
that's it.
the
It's
end.
just I don't
That's
know.
the end of my
Makes sense.
analysis, I fear.
It's giving when Deja was like, this next queen needs no introduction and leaves. Like that's what it's giving.
Kevin is someone that I think people can definitely see as an asset and as a good ally to work with and have for numbers' sake. Um, I will say he does have that really, really good spidey sense of when he needs an advantage and to use it properly. But he usually needs an advantage and to use it properly. And once that happens, it's like, all right, okay. So it'll be interesting to see.
Yeah, I will say I know in both his original Inferno season and this past Kaleidoscope season, he played an idol to keep himself safe. So I'm interested to see if Kevin can maneuver our idol board.
With me, the way I don't know how he's going to do when it comes to his second chances cast. I literally just saw him and EXP get annihilated the first chance we went to a tribal. And that was because he kept running his mouth and would not shut up.
No. Wow.
So
I don't see
he has
this.
to do that because I do see people in this cast targeting him because he's Kevin.
Yeah.
I don't want to laugh, but you're right.
You said it so I didn't have to, but you're right.
I
Listen,
can so well people being like that. Oh, because he's Kevin.
we'll say this. I'm not Kevin's like best friend. I wouldn't even like consider Kevin like a close friend. Like we're acquaintances. But it's very often, especially recently, that people will just target Kevin because they feel it's the easy boot. And I hope that people can like not so much like for gameplay sense, but I just hope that like Kevin can get some footing and find his allies because it would be kind of sad to see like Kevin come here for a second chance and then they're just like, oh, it's Kevin, he's got to go.
And I want to see him actually play this game because he really, in season 2, because of applause, he didn't show his full potential. And now that he's not hosting, and I'm pretty sure this will be the only thing he's doing, he's going to give so much attention to this game. It's going to be a complete opposite.
I think if people give him a chance, he'll do fine. I think it comes down to like you said, if people want to snipe him early. Sorry, Kevin. I'm people.
Not sorry. It's kind of the truth.
Shut up, Karen. Be quiet.
Why don't you just tell Karen to shut up?
Because I giggle.
But like I do agree. If people give him a chance, I think he'll do fine. I think if people don't give him a chance, then it's over.
I think he has a better chance since this is a game and maybe the first game in a minute that he's been able to play as just Kevin and not Kevin
Right.
and oh my fucking god, Allie's on the other tribe. They're obviously gonna work together at the merge. Or if they both
Right.
survive, like they're obviously
Yeah.
final twoing. And they are. But anyway,
No, they would never do that.
No. They didn't even know they were
Mm.
playing. So
Anyway,
this would be fun to see.
we're gonna move on. That was Kevin. Next up is a queen that I'm worried about.
Oh, mom.
Trying to
Why
remember the
should I give it a
alphabet so hard.
It's an
next
L.
up? It's
Oh,
Lauren.
no.
I can't figure it out. Okay, so little blurb time. So Lauren was from season 1 of Distortion, Queen Icon Mother. And survived the first tribal council. Was very in the crosshairs of the X Express. But she was able to survive. But unfortunately, like she really connected herself with X. So when they went back to tribal, she unfortunately was voted out. I'm excited to see Lauren come back. She's very much a wild card choice for this cast. But I know she did pretty well in Spellbound. I know because she voted me out. But I think she could do well. Grace keeps talking about this like myth, like this like ancient
Shut
like
up, I know what you're gonna
surviving
say.
game
Shut up.
that I've
It's
never seen from
annoying.
Lauren. But if
No, Nick was with me in this game as well.
What game was it?
Surviving.
Are you sure I was
goodbye, anyways.
there?
And apparently she did really well in Triumph as well.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, she made the FTC.
So, as if she actually puts activity into this, she can do well. But if she does what she normally does, and she's more on the quiet end, then she's gonna get cut pretty quickly.
I don't think she'll be cut too quick. I do think that like she does need to speak up if she wants to like be super successful.
She's another one I don't know very well, but she is an underrated character. And I've seen where she gets pulled in and is just a great number and is down to do like some crazy shit. It's just like, okay. And like, she's just so quiet on her own, but she has a really good sense of humor and is very entertaining to watch her navigate. So it'll be interesting to see with such a like loud cast. Looks out a
Mhm.
couple letters ahead, you know.
We have
Um,
some very boisterous people, it's true.
yes. That, and not to say that she's quiet, but just I don't know. It's hard to explain,
No,
but
I would say she's quiet.
okay. It's just fun.
She's more secretly opinionated.
Yes. Yes.
Like she's not gonna say it flat out because she doesn't want to be pinpointed. But will she slaughter a bitch to pasture? That sounds about right.
All I know is that her, Topher, Mikey, and Julia Rowe pagonged us in Spellbound, and she was munching in there too. Anyways,
Well, let's see your mother.
Mother.
next up, also from season.
Oh my god.
We haven't even revealed them yet. Damn. It's
I
Lee.
know the alphabet.
So little blurb. So Lee was on a little org break and they came to play Distortion. I was super hyped. I played my first org with Lee. And Lee came in, was very much under the radar in their OG tribe. Then they joined the Purple Parrots in the swap, aka Team Victory, where they proceeded where Lee built a tight bond with Jason and Allie, and they voted out Mac and Tawny. Then they made merge, and all's right with the world. And then Miss Allie Cawson, Miss Flipping Queen, flipped on
Good
Lee,
morning, Queen.
Hee hee.
flipped on Lee, and Lee was the first juror. first ever juror in distortion history. But Lee hasn't played in work since. Super excited. Lee is entertainment. Lee very much brings it on a production level to watch. Lee does, I hope they do it again this season. Lee does their own voting confessionals, their prod chat, and
Oh,
I
please,
loved it.
please.
So it to describe Lee, the first ever game I won, Lee got sixth and was on jury. And it was me and Billy Vance. And Billy Vance entered the room and Lee went, everyone be quiet. And then I entered the room and Lee starts hooting and hollering and clapping as loud as he can in the most obnoxious way possible. And that is who Lee is to me. Lee is so unapologetically just an ass in the best way. That people, I think he will do really well in a cast like this because of how many big personalities there are. Um, I just need him to hone his game. I need him to understand everything that's going on around him a little bit more and understand who is a threat and who he needs to be worried about and who he's just mad at in this moment and doesn't need to worry about.
I will say Lee's very much one of the very few people on this cast where I'm they were fucked. They weren't really they didn't really make a big mistake that caused them to need a second chance to rebuild. No, they just need a second chance in general. Lee really didn't do anything wrong. Lee really didn't Lee, it wasn't anything Lee did that caused their elimination. It was purely Allie. It was just Allie. But to be fair, Lee gave us our first distortion fight. I'm sorry, I'm just excited to see Lee back.
I love entertainment, so sign me up.
Well, they'll bring it.
And I'm ready.
Okay, does anyone else have anything for Lee?
Hey,
No,
Lee.
I just have a question for Morgan. Are you ready for the popcorn that we're going to be eating this season?
Oh, I'm excited.
I will say
Extra
Lee is
butter.
on every single post or anything I put on Snapchat. So when am I coming back?
He has been a Distortion Survivor fan since they played.
Good.
Okay,
Super fan.
everyone's ready. If everyone's done with Lee, next up we have another Heat Wave bestie, but not one you've met. Mike. Now, just Mike, cover your ears again before we continue. Mike was an alt this season. He kept harassing me, asking me why we haven't sent his invite yet. And we were and I felt bad because I was oh, we're still making decisions. We're still making decisions. And then someone dropped. We're perfect. Now we can put Mike in. Great. But Mike had an interesting distortion story. So Mike didn't really know how the orgs worked, and he was very bitter right off the bat. We put him on the bronze, because he was I'm a brain. That's it. I'm a brain. And I was yeah, you might be a brain, but you're also a brawn, and we need brawn. So, here you go. So Mike survives first challenge, does really well in the music video. Second round, Mike doesn't know how orgs work, so he doesn't know the challenge comes right after tribal. So they sat him out of the puzzle relay. Mike then proceeds to tell his tribe when he wakes up, "Oh, I'm great at puzzles." But because sit outs were final, Mike proceeded to spend the rest of the day telling Aaron, "Oh, it sucks I can't help you with the puzzle. Oh, sorry guys, I can't help you. Oh, it's such a shame you guys sat me out." They voted him out. But
Um,
but I thought it was really bullshit that they sat him out and Then they were like, yeah, it was Mike's fault. We lost because he kept harassing us. And Aaron couldn't focus because Mike kept telling him that Mike could have done the puzzle better. So anyways, they voted Mike out. But Mike's here for a second chance.
You better mention the iconic quote.
Oh yeah,
Oh no, I'm gonna mention it. Don't you dare.
do it.
Oh.
Quick.
Mike has said my second favorite thing in all of Distortion history. The other person is sadly not on this cast. He was too busy using protection. But
Why?
one of my favorite quotes have definitely come out of this season. 2 minutes before getting voted out of Distortion Survivor.
Not even. Like it was like a good
Like
30
it was
seconds.
like 30 seconds before getting voted out. Mike says, and I quote, "Don't let the door hit you in the ass on the way out," thinking that he was safe, and then proceeded to get voted out.
And the funny part, Mike didn't remember he said it till I told him.
It was just such peak humor to me. And I feel so bad, like, because I love Mike. And I do think Mike's a better player than what he showed in Distortion.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I just like it was so funny.
Well, like
And I was like, there's no way he said that.
the whole thing is like he called me because like I thought he was trolling with me when he was like, I didn't say that. He calls me, he goes, did I seriously say that on a live YouTube video? I was like, yes. And I played it for him. He goes, oh damn, I'm wrong. Yeah, I said that, I guess. Oh well. And now he's like, now every time I see him, he goes, so I have the most iconic distortion exit, right? I'm
Yes.
like,
Yes, you do, Mike.
but I'm very excited because Mike did play well. I wouldn't say like the best, but he did play well in Kaleidoscope.
Kaleidoscope.
Karen can talk
R.I.P.
about that.
Karen.
I'm like super excited to see Mike play again. Especially without icky LJ. It's a joke, LJ, if you're watching. But yeah,
LJ did life.
I'm excited to see Mike back. If anyone else wants to talk, so I can shut up about talking about my older brother.
I'm
I am
really excited
excited.
to see him back because if I was like, if especially like we've talked about him being an alt, I was like, hey, I think he would be a very good choice for someone to put on the top of the list. For the reason being, he did get second boot, and he's still very well known, like not very brand new to this community. And seeing the improvement that was made in Kaleidoscope, he can definitely do well. And I feel he's going to do, I think he's going to get like super, super far. No, but can I see him merging? Yes.
Definitely
Retweet.
that. I
He
see
just
Mike
needs
being
to
like
follow
an
through.
early merge boot.
He needs to, when the first thing his tribe talks about the fucking puzzles, he needs to freaking be on board with that.
Well, I think that's the thing.
Well-
I think Mike's more prepared for the org world now.
Karen.
Like he Karen.
I
But
just,
hi.
the puzzles just reminded me because I was like, I'm not going to bring it up, but hearing about the
But she
puzzle
will.
just reminds me about playing Kaleidoscope after literally every vote. I'm working with Mike. I'm ride or dying to Final Four with Mike. I'm probably sheeping Mike to the end. Like that's how likable Mike is. I'm like, yeah, I'd love for Mike to take it all, But after every fucking vote, Mike would go, so what now? So who do you want to be Final Four with? So who do you think are best? And I was like, nothing has changed since the last vote where we made this plan, where we discussed what the Final Four would be and how this would be the best move to get us to that. Still that. Like,
I think
and he'll cold call, and we had to be like, we don't do that. And he was like, oh, what? And we were like, yeah, please stop. Actually, that is one thing that will make me go, you need to go. Like, you could be my ally. And I'm like, actually, third cold call in a row. I'm sorry. I can't explain it. And
And it's
it's such
funny, and
little cues that you learn, and he is a very good learner.
it is really funny because like that is just Mike. Like I'll be at work and I'll just get a call and I'll be like, Mike, I'm literally at my desk right now. My boss is sitting right beside me. Like, what do you want? He's like, oh, I'm bored. I just wanted to know what you were doing. And I'm like, Mike, I'm at work. Figure something else. I was like, do you have to? I was like, is there anything important you need?
No.
No, I'll let you get back to work. Bye.
I think that that is one thing about Mike, though, that I'm not sure if it'll be a hindrance or helpful to him. Is like even in his season of Distortion, how short of a time it was, he was really, really excited to be there. And when he plays these games, I feel like he tends maybe not to play it with 100% a strategic brain, but 100% nonetheless. Like he always is down for like whatever the vibe is and whoever the
Yeah.
people are. And he just wants to like interact and like form bonds in the community. And I really, really appreciate that about Mike. And I do like he is one of the sweetest people in this community at this moment in time, especially when you have people like Benji and Morgan here who aren't afraid to cut people.
And
And Karen, but Karen
I
already
know,
knows
I know.
that.
Well, here's the thing is like, I know,
I'm an
here's the thing, I
angel,
didn't
first of
do
all.
shit to this man.
well, here's
Mind
the
you, I
thing
was
is
not
like,
even there.
I know in Kaleidoscope, like Mike was very, Mike Cavier's very passive, very too nice, like really the only hero that season, hence why they gave it to him. Um, and like I think Mike went into Distortion like, I'm gonna be the ultimate villain, I'm gonna cut everyone, make everyone say my hear my name. And then in Kaleidoscope, he was very much like, I want to make friends, I want to like make allies, I want to like work. If he could find a middle, I think he could do super well.
Well,
I feel like Distortion humbled him for sure.
Oh, for sure.
I will say there is just this word vomit element to Mike that it is just Mike because I'm thinking too, like he was in a really good spot at Final Five to where like thinking like, ooh, he should probably be the one to go if anyone has a say in it, but also being like, ooh, if it's me with that say, I don't know I can do it until it came to everyone having their pitch for why like they shouldn't be shot. And he was like, hey, and jury, I haven't pissed any of you off. Remember, you have no reason to be mad at me and shoot me. And I went, okay, there's my free pass to shoot you now. You just said you are the biggest fucking jury threat in front of everyone. And the jury nodded and was like, yeah, we love you, Mike. We're rooting for you. Like,
They said we're rooting for you to join
We were
us.
rooting for us.
Yeah, it was giving Miss Hall. It was.
From the house of Paul.
but he has
Anyways,
ideas. He has ideas, and I am rooting for him. He would definitely be a member of my dream team, like my hopes and dream team.
My hope is
I
that
could
he
get
gets
behind that
farther
for sure.
than. My hope is that he gets farther than second boot.
Not too much because of
Yeah.
the next person, but not too
No,
much.
no, 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 no. But truly, because this is the Mike that we're currently
100%.
playing
As
yeah,
against.
somebody
Correct.
who also wanted to make it past first boot, I
So,
do root for Mike.
so
so
saying that
so as
and understanding what Mike is capable of, I truly do wish that he comes back with a fucking vengeance and a fire up his ass. Not
Not a
under,
vengeance,
up.
more
yeah,
so than a fire, yes. I disagree with
so
vengeance because I think that's what got him cut the first time. I do want him to have a fire under his ass though, and I do want him to like want it as much as he has in the past.
yeah.
Yeah, that desire and that want, I want to be there because this man is capable of much more than I got to experience the first time around.
Yeah, as like a prod member, I'm like, oh, I could really see him doing like decently well, depending on like the direction of everything. But as a non-biased prod member, or as a very biased prod member, I want him to win. So,
I think him and the person we're going to talk about next definitely have the most potential because they have the cleanest slates.
Mm-hmm.
But I'll talk more about that later.
wow, I wonder who you're talking about. If I could just get the phone so we can talk about them. Wow, I wonder who you're talking about.
Person has such a great name. I
We're going
love
to
their
talk about
name.
Nick Mana. Uh, this blurb isn't going to be long. Sorry, Nick. So
Nope.
Mana comes into Distortion 3. Honestly, we had our hopes up. We were like, Nick Mana's gonna make it super far. He's gonna kill it. And then he like met the 1984 alliance of like Braden, Ollie, and Travis, and he got voted out first. But I feel like out of all of our first boots, Nick has the most potential to truly like change
yeah.
the game and like shape the way he needs to, like, get far. And yeah, he's truly like one of the only first boot that I feel like, oh yeah, like he got fucked. Like, so we're here with Nick Mana. Nick Mana, I've never hosted Nick Mana. Oh, I actually have, but it was in a forbidden season. So, uh, no, not that game. I hosted him in Epcot.
I know.
So, but I didn't really get to see Nick Mana in full potential. I've heard from stories and playing with him, I know how chaotic he can be. Which is really funny that he wasn't voted out first for being chaotic. I honestly, I just want him to not get first boot because I'd be kind of sad if he had to have a Francesca the distortion series.
I I think that like if anybody's gonna be Francesca, it's not gonna be Nick, especially with this cast. And I keep bringing it up, but this cast has a lot of big personalities, a lot of people who are like willing to do the crazy thing, um, which only benefits Nick. And on top of that, he only really has to get past that first vote, and then everything's extra for Nick, so he can really do whatever he wants.
True.
Yeah.
And so, like, I'm hoping he got seeing like his starting tribe. I'm really excited. I'm really excited for him specifically. Because I think that like he could really thrive in that tribe. Or he could crush and burn. Who knows?
Either or.
I think Nick has enough people overall too on the cast that he will probably have an easier time getting some footing one way
Hmm.
or another. And be that letting him make some moves or being part of moves. Like, we shall see. Or he could crash and burn and be the Francesca. I really don't think he's gonna end up being the Francesca.
I would be most disappointed if he got like second boot and was close to being the Francesca.
And that's what I think could happen. That's more likely than actually being the Francesca.
And that
feel
would
like I
sadden
feel
me.
like I feel like everyone in the tribe is gonna be like, no, Nick, we could never give you that first boot again. And then they're like, okay, but second boot's fine.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's my biggest fear with Nick. Um, if he's Francesca, that's iconic. But I don't see him like I'm trying to like look at like where I would place Nick in this group. I see Nick being like early merge boot.
Mhm.
I see like them getting to the merge and being like, okay, maybe Nick's like a little too chaotic for what we're trying to do here and the vibes we're trying to create in the studio.
Yeah.
or pre-juror because I just remember in Kaleidoscope
Hmm.
they got out on that tribe and basically it's going to but I feel it, with this cast Nick can possibly get away with it is the messiness.
Especially his starting tribe, like he has Joppy, he has Cam, he has Jackie. Like he has people who are like down to do the crazy moves.
Right.
Austin. Not that they're on the same tribe, just
Yeah,
overall.
like and like yeah, if he meets up with Austin, like 100, like those are people who are down for the mess. And Nick is somebody who is always down for the mess. No, like just for the hell of it. Like for the ride, for the vibes.
Right. And I think it was already mentioned, but like as long as you survive that first vote, like you're playing with house money. So
Yeah.
fucking go for it. Why not?
And I think Nick's the type of player that like he will go for it.
Hmm. I'm excited.
I'm ex yeah, I'm excited for Nick.
Okay. That's everything.
Stares at the next person.
Oh, I'm so excited for this next phase.
Fine.
And Karen is too.
Quietly mutes.
Next up is Roberto. It's a little blurby. Uh Morgan Cavaliers.
Yeah.
Roberto ate the beauties up. Like he was running.
Hate them down.
He had them ball him on the leash and running with them, you know. And he was pretty much running the pre-merge, entered the swap, had a major whether for petty reasons or not, major blindside on Alex, and then proceeded to literally just go crazy with power. But like because of the right after the Alex boot, super paranoid, super like out of it, and basically, um, shut up, Karen. I
Alright.
can't. And basically, what happened was,
Oh, I could answer that.
David David was all for playing the idol on
Himself.
Roberto, and then Roberto said, "No, I'm fine. No worries, no worries." And David played the idol on himself. Roberto instantly regretted it, and Roberto was voted out in a not a 3-2-1, but a 6-4-2.
Roberto, are you done? Should I
Yeah.
go? Because I know. Okay. Um, Roberto's another person with an iconic quote. Season 5 was just really good with quotes. When he sat on a one-on-one call with Alex and said, you have the face of someone who hosts games,
No, you have the face. You have the face of a host.
knowing fully well that Alex hosts a game. Roberto's biggest flaw is he suffers from straight man syndrome. And what I mean by that is he sometimes, and by sometimes I mean a lot of the time, feels that the game revolves around him. I love him. He's very much entertainment value. But he just needs to be, if he wants to succeed with this cast, I just think he'll need to humble himself just a tad. And by just a tad, I mean quite a bit. And kind of like put his nose in the sand and just work behind the scenes. Because I don't think the Roberto we saw in Heatwave will correlate to the Roberto we see here with this cast.
Roberto said he's looking to take a more under the radar approach. Whether his ego will allow that, no offense, Roberto. Whether his ego will allow that, I'm excited to see. Because in the past, I know, especially I saw in Spellbound too, like I know he very much was taking a lot of control of the game, or at least trying to.
Right. I think my thing with Roberto, like from experience, Roberto just does too much sometimes. Like you're putting your hands in too many pots. You're making it so apparent. Like even though he was running things on the Beauty Tribe, after like the second round, I dropped him in my trust rankings. I was like, okay, he's doing too much. He's doing too much. I don't care. Like, and he did way too much, and that's what got him out. And he's like, I want him to do well. Obviously, OG Beauties for life, whatever. Um, but I feel like he has a tendency for just overplaying his hand a lot. So I'm worried.
As you should be. No, I'm just kidding. I really do hope he has a more under the radar approach to things.
Mhm.
My only fear is like Roberto's like definition of under the radar is like our definition of like playing a regular game. Um, because like to be 100% blunt and honest here, like the reason we say he ran the Beauty Tribe is because like he was the boldest of you all, Morgan, at
Mhm.
Morgan. You were very bold in the sense of like when you were behind the scenes working, you were working. Roberto would work just as hard. He just was very extremely visible the entire time he was doing it. And I just need him to like kind of take the Morgan approach to things. Like if you're going to be like the lead of things, make sure you're not the face of it.
Mhm.
And I think he could be successful. I think he's going. If I had to like look at placement, I think he's going to get the exact same place he got in Heatwave.
What last preacher?
Yep.
I can see that. Okay, next
I
up.
will,
Oh,
Wait, I will
shut
never
up.
forget the whirlwinds of watching his rounds because I was off of work and I was just sitting there on that tribe's calls the whole entire day. And I'm just like, and a lot of it is him like yelling and being like, "Oh my god!" and cold calling. Another thing about Roberto, what makes him entertaining, he cold calls his pride. He always like confessional, and then he actually is one of my favorite confessionalists. Like he just is so out there, and I just love it so much. I really want him to do well because he is very entertaining. But like, if he can't control himself, then like, yeah, I agree with Nick. He's gonna get too much power, and people are like,
And I could see that happening like sooner than later.
Yeah. Okay. Next up,
Oh, icon legend.
definitely technically not our third time player, but we're gonna say second for whatever.
That
It's
season didn't happen.
so we're definitely not talking about quarter qual Timmy because that didn't happen. But we're talking about Hidden Temple Mysteries Timmy. Timmy was in a really good spot in his OG tribe when he swapped. They only went to tribal once, and it was an easy vote. But in that time, he was bonding with Lyndon, forming a really strong duo. Once they hit the merge, they built a really strong three. Unfortunately, hit their third got voted out like third in the merge. And they were able to snake their way to the final six, where Timmy was blindsided and have 4-2 votes. And then the other season happened, but we don't talk about it. But we're here with Timmy. I'm super excited. Timmy gets an actual second chance. Um, I'm excited to see what Timmy brings because I don't know. I haven't played with Timmy in a long time. So I just know Timmy can bring it. I don't know what I'm trying to say. I'm like losing words. Timmy's gonna do well. I don't know how well, but I think well.
So much, but he also never ever ever takes no bullshit. Um and sometimes that's really really great, and other times it can back him into a corner and then he's like, "Oh no." Shit. Um he also is not always the most like the biggest go-getter when it comes to social. Um like he's talking to who he's talking to, and if he's not talking to you, he's not talking to you. Um, and yeah, I love him,
But
and he's on my hopes and dreams team.
as somebody who also is like that when they play, it
Mm,
can be a lot more beneficial to you from a jury perspective. So like if he
Mhm.
gets to that point and he's like I know a lot of people on this call and myself included would rather be like, I would rather somebody not talk to me at all than sit in my face and play me like I'm an idiot.
mm.
Listen,
And and
And
so
the way
like
the way I'm feeling that right now, my spirit hits a little too deep. So,
um but like so like I fully understand where he comes from with that. Do I think that that will benefit Timmy in this
mm,
game? TBD. If I had to give him a placement, my brain and my mind and my spirit and my soul, for whatever reason, is saying eighth place.
I think it's kind of like you were saying, though. It honestly depends on what vibe he gets from which people. And from there, as a social butterfly of season 5, whether that was effective or not, I never negate my opportunities where they are, especially with a second chances season. Any expectations that you think you have coming in are going to be blown right out the water. So I would, uh, do I think he'll need every single relationship? No. Do I think it would benefit him? Yes.
So here's my little thing about Timmy. He's like, so I've seen Timmy play like 4 returnee seasons of games. In both EXP seasons, he did really well, but I know in BB Disney Second Chances, he got pre-jury, and in CTC, he was the last pre-juror. So I'm just I don't know how he's gonna do with the returnee element. If he'll like
Mhm.
kind of do it more of like an EXP where like he does really well and thrives and he gets taken out because of his threat level, or if it's literally just like they're like, oh, it's Timmy, and then they take him out.
Okay, I'm dropping off. Okay, I actually think Timmy's gonna be fine in this cast. I do see Timmy making merge. Like I do feel a strong sense that he will. He just the thing is that as long as he makes the right like because we talked about like Timmy, how if he's not interested in working with you, like he's not gonna speak to you as much. But I feel, especially on a tribe with 7, he can get a grasp and be able to pull through with that and be able to get in a position to where he will make it through. But I am concerned about, especially if he doesn't talk to certain people. Say if he doesn't vibe with someone like a Tyler, and Tyler's like,
Mhm.
"Oh, he's not talking. Let's go after him."
Right.
Then he can kind of be in trouble there.
Yeah, that's my thing with Timmy. Like, I did play with Timmy before, and even when we like were both accidentally on the same side of a vote, even after that, we still didn't really talk that much. And it wasn't for me because I'm somebody that would like, I don't care. I will go talk to you, even if we've never talked in my life. Like, if it's game related and it benefits, I'm gonna talk to you. Um, and I don't like to keep doors closed at all. But Timmy is not. I just don't see Timmy as that person. Um, so like just to echo what Karen said, not like the biggest go getter, not like actively trying to do as many things as possible that could be beneficial. So I'm a little worried, but I think Timmy will probably have longevity in the game. I'd see like merge.
Okay, that's it with Timmy. Next up, we have a very
The
controversial figure in the distortion.
biggest villain ever.
Not the biggest, just a villain.
Oh,
Aw, my worthy adversary.
Good,
Next
he's
up
so
is Tyler.
good.
So Tyler comes to us from our good friend Mikey Ruby. His first org was distortion, and right off the bat, after triple threat and after the boat, there was the core. Tyler, state
What
and
was the alternative name for the core, Seb?
no, no. Oh, yes, you're right. Tiger's Eyes. That had Jen in it.
I don't think Benji's talking about that name.
I know
No,
what Benji's
I'm
talking about.
not.
I know what Benji's talking about.
We're
I just
not
not
fucking talking about it.
not acknowledging it. Anyways, Tyler does a pretty good job right off the bat, getting himself adjusted into the new org world. Um, they had to go to 2 tribals, but like they said, the first one with Mike, they had a good stance, and Aaron was voted out right after. They swapped. Luckily, Tyler was swapped with his closest ally, LJ. And because of Tyler's disadvantage, where he had the emoji talk, um, he was forced to be in these group chats with LJ, and that kind of hindered his game in Lando. But he was able to really get himself back into gear, made the merge, and Tyler for a while was doing a good job at hiding the core's true intentions, where they were really working towards until the David Idol play against Morgan. Um,
Okay.
did I mention that Morgan was idled out?
No, but you did now.
Anyways,
I feel like we could have bypassed.
but basically after Morgan and David's boots, Core went on to basically get to the final three, but Tyler did. Tyler didn't have the best jury management, and it caused
Tyler
him.
also listened to his fellow jurors.
Yes,
Oh, and
he also had
didn't
a
I?
power.
Oh,
He also had a power to listen to talk to a juror, talk to Jen. Jen was like, "Don't take LJ," and he was like, no." And he took LJ. LJ won almost unanimously, and now Tyler's here for his second chance. I'm actually really excited because I think that without LJ, hopefully, he
And
will. Yeah, but he wasn't really like following Staten. He was like following.
no.
I'm just excited to see Tyler like play his own game. He's either getting sniped super early or making it far, in my opinion. Like I don't
Mhm.
see him getting middle of the road. Like I don't see him getting early merge. I don't see him getting late pre-jury. I see him getting like second, third, fourth boot, or like sixth, fifth, fourth.
Right.
I get the impression that he is just a straight and narrow kind of guy, and he's gonna want to just get a good alliance day one and just steamroll it. And I don't think anyone's gonna do that this season.
Yeah, no, I agree.
And I don't know if he is such a sweetheart. He's another just good guy from what I've heard, but I don't know if he has the subtlety to like pull
Sorry.
wool over anyone's eyes, like
Sorry.
I
No.
I think he's a very like side v side type of player and is okay like drawing the line and being like, we have a majority, it's that easy. And I'm like, it's not, nothing's gonna be easy,
Nothing's ever gonna be easy in this
besties.
life.
Nothing will be easy.
I'm here to be a Tyler apologist for a minute.
No,
Oh.
literally. And I'm here
Um,
too.
So the first like couple of months sitting on the Jen thing, like Jen told him not to take LJ. He took LJ anyways. I was like, that's literally the worst move ever anybody could ever make. That was stupid. But looking at it more from the eye of somebody who like Jen also told him that there was kind of no way he was gonna win.
Mhm.
And so I find it kind of noble a little bit to be like, oh, if I'm not winning, I'm gonna make sure my closest ally does. And rip Benji in the chat because
Yeah,
Benji
I was
definitely
about
got
to say I
sniped for that
highly
exact
disagree with that,
reason.
but
No, I think that there was no chance that Tyler was winning. And he kind of, after that conversation, realized there was no chance in hell he was winning the game, even if he made these big drastic moves, because then he'd just be pissing more people off. And kind of like took one on the chin so that somebody else could thrive, like an ally of his could thrive. And I appreciate that. I've never been that person, never will be that person, but I can respect
Exactly.
it.
Yeah, good guy.
Yeah,
Good guy. Just straight and narrow.
Okay.
I want him so badly to do well this game. And I'm going to repeat this one more time. I want him so badly to do well this game.
you don't think it's gonna happen.
I don't think he's gonna do well in this game with this cast.
Okay,
I've
I
been
have to speak
talking.
up. I can't sit here and listen to the Tyler slander any
Honestly.
longer because everyone's saying like, "Oh, straight and narrow. Tyler's just gonna ride with his one alliance the whole time."
No, he got villain for a reason.
Oh no,
So
honey.
Did
Tyler
he stray?
playing.
And I'm not being facetious. Like, did he have big dreams of
Oh, I'll
skiing?
let me speak. Um, that
Not
wasn't meant
you
to be
trying to
shady,
quiet,
but
not
I'm
you
so
quieting
excited.
mother.
Sorry.
Morgan silencing
so
woman.
me, quiet woman. The menses are speaking.
Oh god, not the
Sits
sexism.
in all pronouns accepted.
Sits in misogyny.
Um, uh,
Continue.
anyway, so I was somebody that worked obviously a little closely with Tyler and LJ. And Tyler is
Uh,
bi, not so much on
Bye.
me. So Tyler will find his inner circle, like the people that he rides with for sure. But when he's in an alliance, he's more than okay with being like, oh, that person's going. Okay, let them
Mhm.
take, let them go because they are standing in my way. I might not do it, but I know about it and I'm not saying anything about it. You gotta go. Sorry. He did that with um the Gen vote because I was including Tyler and LJ in that, and I was like, you guys just need to shut up and vote
Um,
your certain
um,
way.
um, I
What?
hate, hate your hair and makeup today.
Right.
I hate to be the bearer of bad news here, but the only reason that vote went the way it
was
did
because of
and not
state.
a different way is because of state. Um,
I am aware of that, but they were also included on it and didn't
I
sit
mean,
there and try to
everybody
flip it.
everybody knew exactly who was going, Jen included, and the only reason that it happened the way it did was because Jen let herself go. Um, I know you hate the straight and narrow term. I get it. But I think
Straight.
Tyler was so straight and narrow in the way he plays that he became the villain because of it.
I mean, I was like even a Tyler apologist on the jury. I
I'm
think
sorry,
I was,
Benji's raising their hand.
and I don't, and Veggie can keep it raised for a second because I wasn't done speaking. Um, before I
I
was
mean, she was
silent.
in silence, but I'll keep quiet, but I was in silence.
Not you. Um, anyway, as I was saying, Tyler is definitely somebody who is like very game body, which I think will do
Mm-mm.
well on a big all-star season like this. Bye.
Bye.
Uh, anyway, I'm pro Tyler. I was pro Tyler on the jury, just a tad, just a smidge. I was giving him his credit.
I can't
Um,
relate, but
I know because we were all
oh, I was
very much
heated. But
upset.
oh, I was very
Um,
heated. But
but I see value in what Tyler does. And I think he
hmm
does have a tendency to be like a want to be the mafia or mob boss type that like definitely
Yeah,
wants to be the leader. Um, so I don't
a
know
little bit
how
of
that will,
villainitis.
yeah, I don't know how that will pan out on a season where
see,
everybody has their own voice.
with Tyler, he eventually, outside the game, he eventually became the villain that I have grown to love. He is my worthy adversary. He's the only bitch on record to make me visibly cross-eyed and to have genuine love for this man after everything is all said and done. And that's a very rare talent. Um, love you, Tyler, truly. But no, like he's not afraid to get his hands dirty. He's not afraid to be like, I don't give a fuck what you think. I'm here to win. It's not like there's like a big ass cash prize in here. I'm gonna do what the fuck I want to do, and y'all are gonna have to deal with it. And yes, it does read villain, but I don't mind that it reads villain because I feel like Tyler also has the power to become that quintessential anti-hero. You may not like everything that he does, but you will respect his game for what he has said and what he will do. I'm a Tyler Stan, it's true, but
Love
it's
that.
worth it.
Tyler is in my dream team.
I am a Tyler curious-er.
What?
I'm curious about
No,
Tyler.
that's fair. No, that's fair. That's so fair. Trust me.
No.
Now, do I was I in the bandwagon of like, bitch, if you listened to Jen, you would have won. Yeah, but at the same time, I do also understand like Jen literally said, "There's no way in hell." So I could see how he was like, "I will ride until the wheels fall off. I don't
And
care."
there wasn't a way in hell. Like, and I said that even after. That's why I told Tyler because Tyler was feeling him in his feelings. And I was like, honestly, you weren't winning, period. So don't
Oh,
even
oh,
sweat it. They
You know,
weren't voting for you.
you know who I was curious about? Our next person.
I'm
Bye.
ready. I'm
Mother.
ready. I'm not ready. I'm not ready. Sorry,
Okay,
dude.
anyways, so this is Vanessa for anyone who doesn't know. Vanessa played season
Mommy,
2.
mommy. Sorry.
Okay. Silence. Thank you. So we have Vanessa, icon legend. We found her off the Facebook community. She randomly applied and she had such amazing interview, and she was like, but I'm gonna be in a music festival for the first week. We were like, bet. So um she was part of probably one of the most iconic tribals in distortion history. And she survived it. And from there, she was able to use her social game and the swaps to truly put herself in a good position with almost everyone in the game, to a point where everyone was like, Vanessa sketches me out, but I still want to keep her in. And so she really got herself to the merge despite being a target, despite almost going home in the vote before the merge. Um, and she proceeded to just, despite being very social with everyone in the swaps, she couldn't continue to keep her threat level down into the merge. So when the tribes were split and there was only 5 people in the tribe, they decided to take her shot at Vanessa, and she got 10th. I'm very excited for Vanessa to come back. Um, I'm honestly really shocked that she said yes to come back. Like the fact that I messaged her and I was like, okay, well, she doesn't say no. We have other options. She's like, yeah. She filled out the interest form, said yes to the application, and she's here. I'm really excited. And I'm just hoping that she doesn't just get fucked because she doesn't have connections. That's my only worry that I really have about her, straight off the bat. But I'm also worried about if these people don't like her or vice versa, I just don't see it going well. Vanessa's very social, but she's very social because people, especially in season 2, liked her off the bat. They wanted to work with Vanessa because there's not swaps every round. These people don't like Vanessa. They're just gonna vote her out. So I'm just really worried, especially with the second chance caliber that we have here. I'm just really worried, but I could see her doing well. I want her to make merge. Um, but yeah,
I love Vanessa. She is so cool, calm, and collected. And I played season 2 with her, and the entire time I was pretty fucking convinced that she was actually masterminding everything. And I kept fumbling around her and she was gonna fuck me over. Wasn't happening. She had no idea. She was just chilling. Um, and I really hope she finds a good spot to wedge herself in here and has a chance to do some crazy shit because she likes talking strategy and shit. She is social with people who will reach out to her. Um, and also, if she's not at a fucking music festival the first weekend of the game, because wow, that can really do damage, apparently. Um, but yeah, I'm excited. I think this will be an interesting cast for her to interact with, and I hope that it'll be really entertaining.
I think she can do really well in this cast for the reason seeing watching her the first and second round in season 2. She was inactive. She was not around a lot in the first round because she was at that music festival. Really worried for her at that tribal, and then RJ started being RJ, and but I was very worried for her because she just was not there. Seeing the way that she went from that and being called out at tribal And in the second round, she's in all these alliances with people that she's making, and everybody's just okay with it. The way she bounced back, I feel if she gets herself in a tough situation, she knows what to do to bounce back. And I feel that is why she will succeed.
I feel like she very similarly to first Adam that we talked about 9 years ago. Um, she knows how to or she also knows how to really successfully and subtly mine for info and knows who to share what info with to benefit her. The reason why she was able to get 10th and not pre-merge is because she like found enough of a wedge that people felt good enough with her, like wanted to change it up a little bit and keep her. So I definitely again I really hope that this is her chance to actually mastermind it and like really puppeteer some shit one way or another.
You know who she reminds me of? Like now that we're like talking about everything, she's giving me very much like Jackie, like very good strategist, very good socially. Like, but that's not like guaranteed. Like that's not necessarily like their whole
Okay.
goal. Like they're not like just strategizing to like. What were you gonna
Both
say?
both queens that ordered food during the endurance challenge. So.
And they're so real for that.
I don't know her too well, but this is a potential mother.
Very that.
I do think about it a lot where Vanessa had her hand on the wall and she's trying to like reach for the tacos that are on the island in her kitchen. So she has her hand on the wall. She's like reached out. She like fingertips the taco and she grabs it, starts eating it. And all I remember is Keaton going, "There's no rule against not eating during this challenge."
I hear about Vanessa, I feel like all the time for somebody that I've never met. Being a close friend of the dearest Mikey Ruby, I feel like Vanessa gets brought up so much. And so I know this is a mother. I'm here. I have my Team Vanessa merch is also on underneath my Team Jackie merch.
No, mine's shipping right now.
I'm very excited.
Okay, you don't already have
I
that?
need my mothers to slay.
Speaking of mothers,
Okay, after 3 years and 2 months of cast assessment, we're finally at our final person.
oh my god, I'm so fucking excited.
Someone, okay, next to the last up is someone I also thought was gonna say no. We have Vicky, now
Mom,
mother.
Eighth
I've
that
only
cast
heard good
picture
things
up.
about Mrs. Vicky.
So little thing about Vicky, I played her first org with her. No, not to brag. And the Vicky back then definitely was not the Vicky now. Um,
oh,
Vicky like close your ears, Vicky. Vicky flopped in the game that I played. But she was like so chaotic in that game that like she was able to get to fourth. Then like the next game she played, she like was like, I was like, what the fuck is this? Who the fuck are you? Like Vicky is so good at like strategy. Let me get to my blurb before I continue. So Vicky starts on the Soul Tribe, and
mom.
because there's no swaps, quickly forms an alliance with Nick, Mac, and the other one.
Not too much. That's not what happened.
The other one.
Oh,
We don't
There,
talk
there
about it.
was an alliance formed. Shh, whatever. Goodbye. Anyways, Vicky kills it, and Vicky finds the advantage, which unfortunately was a beware advantage that needed to be found by someone else on the other tribe. Which I'm just gonna pretend it was never found. Um, so
That was
Vicky
but the game.
so Vicky lost her vote in the first round of the merge, but like she had a big hand in the Hearn blindside. And she truly like was like in a power position for most of the merge until she gave P her rock idol and and then told Pete like use it on me and because Pete was afraid that he was going to be the boot, so the rock idol isn't used, and Vicky gets blindsided at 7. So sad. But like I was saying, Vicky's so good socially, strategically, a little bit physically. Like Vicky's like my winner pick. Like I said it already. Like I think Vicky has what it takes to go far in this cast, and I think this cast is fully just gonna let her do it. Like, oh, I'm so excited.
Okay.
This is
Somebody
my
else go.
child.
Somebody else go.
This is my child. She knows it. She knows what she's capable of. She's done it, I don't know how many fucking times before already. She'll do it again. They will let her. Like, she just is that good socially. Like, Vicky will also drive you fucking insane, but like, oh my God, she's just so endearing and such a fucking wild card. Like, and she is down to clown. Like, she will get fucked over and over and over again and be like spitting mad in her prod chat, just like cursing out, going in and out of Spanish, and just like, okay, well, game on, like on to the next round. What the fuck are we doing then? And like we'll keep calling people for like 7 hours in like she will put in the work, and that's why she gets as far as she does consistently. Like that's why she is so likable, because she makes sure people like know who she is and talks to her.
And she's entertainment too. I remember
I think
specifically in her
we're
prod chat,
Absolutely.
in the game, out of the game. I remember in her prod chat specifically, she was like, "Hey guys, like I just want to know like what everything is because I know every org is different. Like, what's the level of comfortability? That's not the word at all, but like, what's the level?
Comfortability.
What's the level of comfort that is in here?" And Billy comes in, he's like, "This is your prod chat." The next day, her and Jason Ronzi are talking about like something I can't talk about on YouTube.
She
Oh,
she
I'm
will
just sitting on.
send prod a dozen TikToks and at individual prod members for specific TikToks and reels.
Didn't get
She will
that.
not give you a game update ever. You'll ask her what she's voting or what she's doing. She'll be like, I don't
I don't
know.
know. Yep.
And every round, I specifically always name my ulcers Vicky, because every round it's I'm going home. And you're like, why do you think that? I am. I just am. I just know it. And then it'll inevitably not happen. And she'll be like, I knew it. And it's like, I will fucking strangle you if you don't start explaining yourself. But that's just part of it. That's just part of her fucking goddamn charm. I love her so much.
Being able to host Vicky is such a full circle moment for me because first off, I want to thank Adam D because if it wasn't for his craziness, me and Vicky would not ever be as close as we became in season 3. So my original alliance was with Adam and Mac, and then Adam decided to go a little kooky and crazy, and we said, okay, we're gonna flip to Redacted and Vicky.
not redacted.
And that honestly was the best decision I've ever made in any org. Because playing with Mac and Vicky specifically, was the most fun I've ever had in a game. Vicky is down like when Karen says down to clown, Vicky is down to clown. You could throw the most out like getting Hearn out to us was so outlandish and like was never gonna happen. And Vicky was like, we're making it happen. It's going to happen this round. Like, I don't care what has to happen for it to happen, it's going to happen. And it did. And so like she's an enigma. She's a fucking enigma. Like she's omnipotent, she's everywhere, but she's nowhere. Like she's just, and on top of that, she's just such a kind person. She's just really, really genuine and down to earth. And like Seb was saying, is afraid to talk about nothing. Isn't afraid to like put her whole life out on the line for you to talk about. If you wanna go there with her, if you want to talk about a whole lot of nothing, she'll talk about a whole lot of nothing with you. She's really good at reading people and understanding exactly what they want in that moment and exactly what they want to talk about in that moment. And she's vulnerable enough to not care if she's like talking too much about her own personal life or talking too little about her own personal life. Like she'll just talk with whatever you need in that moment. And that is something that like I have not seen anybody be able to replicate in this community. I also just fucking adore her. I am a firm believer of if Final Seven went down the way it was supposed to go down our season, she would be the winner of this org and not winner of season 3 and not Gigi. I love Gigi though, Queen. Because I was supposed to go home at 7, I think, at some point, and then Pete was supposed to go home at 7 at some point, and then it ended up being Vicky. But love that queen. She's my, like, barring Mac, my favorite person. No, I'd say at the level of Mac, like, one of my favorite people I've ever played a game with. And that is my winner pick, and she will be winning this game. And if she doesn't, it was rigged by the player somehow.
If she
Wow,
doesn't, then it
still
was
in winner
Jackie.
picks, I see. Interesting.
She was always my winner pick, and you know that. Don't try me,
Oh.
Seb.
Don't
That's
show me
mom.
on live.
But
Anyway,
what I will say is I think it's such a cute full circle moment that Adam's downfall was the rise of Vicky, and then they played Power Grab together and were Final 2 together, and now they're playing this game again together. So that dynamic is what I'm probably most interested in seeing come this season.
I am really interested to see how Vicky and Adam interact with each other, especially after Power Grab All Stars, and just it's an interesting thing. So I'm also interested to see how Vicky interacts with like all the preachers from her season, especially Adam.
Especially because all the pre-jurors from her season, barring Adam, she didn't get to interact with.
Yeah.
I'm
But
excited for her, obviously. We love a potential mother.
Oh, not a potential. She is mother.
she is,
Okay, I don't know her.
but
And
she's
Karen is
she's
grandmother.
Again,
You're not my mother.
That's my
Vicky is
cat.
Vicky is mother and Karen is grandmother.
Exactly.
Hi, grandmother. Goodbye.
Aw.
Grandmother bitch.
I will
Grandmother
say, I
bitch.
think she's doing very well in this. I don't see where she doesn't get pre-merch.
Agreed.
I would shook as fuck if it happened. You would need
You
to
mean
be
where
a
she
blind,
you don't see
side.
where she gets pre-merge?
Yeah.
Is that what you meant to? Okay, yeah. Then I agree. I agree wholeheartedly on that.
No, she definitely if she got pre-merge, I would be shook to my core.
Honestly, Vicky could probably stand there looking pretty and still make merge.
Are Vicky and
Real.
Vanessa on starting tribes together?
Who?
Mhm.
Vicky
Zach?
and who?
Vanessa?
No, yes.
Yes, they are.
So,
Yes, they are.
okay, so like my dream team, those are my queen co-captains of my dream team, and I really hope that they get that memo and follow through on it because I
Like I'm manifesting like
Nick
I
they are going
manifesting?
to the mother
Oh my
mother
god.
load.
Are you
Manifesting
Nick
serving
manifesting?
Kant.
the mother load, and no. If anything, I'm Nick manifesting that he doesn't get in the way of it. Like-
Karen said, and don't fuck it
Um,
up.
they are also the co-captains of my dream team, and Karen, I'd be curious as to who else is on your dream team.
Cam, obviously.
Why do we have the same? That's gross. Stop having the same dream team as me. I have one other, but I don't think it's yours, so we're good.
I mean,
I have a dream team of
I
6.
wax and wane between going from dream team of like 4 to
That's
like
fair. That's fair.
7 because this cast is so good.
I am in love with this cast. But Adam D is going to munch the girls up, and I just know it. I feel it in my bones.
That's fair.
And then Vicky's gonna take him to the end, and she's gonna win, and it's gonna be the flip of Power Grab. I feel it because you can't take Vanessa to the end. That's crazy.
And when Vanessa takes herself there,
That
then what?
right? That's and then what? And then
Oh.
what?
Then it's over. It's
And when
over.
Vanessa Kim Spradlins this shit, then what?
That's
Not too much.
That's what I was worried about, Morgan. Hit the nail
Not
on
too much.
the head. Also, I don't think
It's
it was mentioned.
it's gonna be
I don't think
Vicky.
I
It's
said
gonna
it
be
enough.
Vicky that can Spradlins, but not too much.
Well,
I don't think I said it before once, but Vanessa's also so hot. That's all. That's as far
like the cast pick, like it's giving model, it's giving
She
Oh.
always looks absolutely airbrushed and flawless.
I just realized something crazy.
Hand that.
What'd you realize, Nick?
Nothing. It's fine. We can talk about it later.
Okay. Well, this concludes the Distortion Survivor Timeline of Terror cast assessment for the cast who's watching this in the future. I'm really sorry for how long this is, but not really. But you got to
I
get our
thought you both got your turn.
opinions.
There were 21 of you to cover.
We
For the
care.
rest of the cast, I also hope you have been eating
Me
as many
care.
snacks as I have.
Thank you, Prod, because you're forced to be here. But thank you, Morgan and Karen, for showing up and spending the 3 hours with us. Thank you to the players in the future for joining us for this hopefully high pace, amazing second chances season. And
Stupid.
I hope y'all enjoy the season, or I hope you enjoyed Fast Times.
I hope
Bye.
you enjoyed